Hello and welcome into the Dean Withers Show. For everybody at home watching on YouTube, it's good to have you here with me today. We are going to be debating 100 Trump supporters. And just real quick, so I could give you a breakdown of how this thing works. Over here on my phone, I'm currently live streaming on TikTok. My background says Trump is terrible, prove me wrong. And any and all Trump supporters can request to join the live and have a conversation with me. In fact, we already have our first Trump supporter of the evening named Lucas up on the live. So let's go and get Lucas unmuted and hop right into the conversation. So Mr. Lucas, why did you vote for Trump?
Well, can I tell you why I didn't vote for Kamala?
That works.
Well, I would probably do her immigration policies. Can I tell you why?
What are her
So,
immigration policies?
well, I would say when she was a vice president, she was tasked with probably, I think, addressing the immigration crisis.
Okay, well, you don't
And
know
she,
specifically what she was was addressed to do. Do you want me to tell you what she was actually addressed to do, or should I
well,
wait for
she
you to finish?
supported ending the Remain in Mexico policy, which
Yes, did I.
required asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while their claims were processed.
Yeah, I also support terminating that.
Okay, now let me tell you why this is really bad. It puts pressure on our border security, local governments, and I feel like our resources like housing, healthcare, and education.
Okay, it puts pressure on our resources. So you think that asylum seekers and undocumented migrants take more resources out of the system than they provide in, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Undocumented migrants specifically, how much do they take out of our federal taxation system per year? What programs benefit them?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I can tell you it's around $16.5 billion, right, in emergency
Okay.
services in hospitals across our country. And it's possible that a large amount of that doesn't even account for undocumented migrants, just people that don't report insurance. And I actually got that number from another deluded Trump supporter that could have just been spreading misinformation. But undocumented migrants as a whole paid $96.5 billion into our federal, state, and local tax systems in the fiscal year of 2023 alone. So it is the case that they provide more into the system than they take out. So when you say undocumented migrants and asylum seekers who are not undocumented migrants, they're legal migrants, are just draining the resources of America, not only are you abundantly wrong and that's not the case, but they're actually providing into the resources of America.
Then why did we see a record number of illegal people coming into Texas and Arizona, leading to public safety and like economic concerns, I guess?
Um,
Hmm?
when?
Um, hold on. Let me pull up the
What?
article.
Like what? What? I right. What? Yeah.
I mean, I would, I
When?
know I would search it up, dog. I would search it
And
up.
also for public safety, undocumented migrants are literally 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes compared to U.S. citizens. We evaluate general public safety insofar as the per capita crime rate. Undocumented migrants literally drop the per capita crime rate.
I mean, I get that, but there was a spiking record of 250K immigrants and illegal crossings at the southern borders, aka Texas and Arizona. That is really bad, especially as a vice president, as your only task. Like, come on,
Wait,
bro.
1 second. You're completely shifting the goalpost now. Originally, your position was that it was bad for her to overturn the Remain in Mexico policy because undocumented migrants drain resources off the system. I debunk you on that point, and now you're just shifting. Well, there's a lot of people coming in. So, which one do you want to talk about? Her decision to support the Biden-Harris administration revoking the Remain in Mexico policy, or just like the general amount of crossings under their admin? Because those are two distinct, separate positions.
Okay, you debunked me on the first point. Let's move on.
Okay. Real quick, I don't mean to detract from the conversation, but I would like to thank Laura so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Laura has a kind message here reading, "Hope you're doing okay today, Dean. Been listening to you at work all day. I'm doing a lot better today. I appreciate you for your kindness, Laura." And then Carmen, thank you for the $2 as well. So now back to our conversation. You're saying that she had bad immigration policy because she oversaw a lot of entry into our country over a southern border. So this means that you're just baselessly associating border crossings with being caused by the bad policy of the administration if it's something negative. My question to you would be, we had a very negative level of unemployment in April of 2020 under Trump's admin. Would you associate this baselessly from being caused by Trump's trivial bad unemployment policy?
I think Trump had something to do with it, but I think the way he handled the situation was definitely a lot better and would be a lot better had he had that same situation with Kamala.
Kamala is how you pronounce her name.
Sorry,
So
my
yeah,
bad.
you don't just say because there's high levels of unemployment, therefore is caused by Trump's bad unemployment policy. So why do you say because there's high levels of migration, it was caused by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's bad immigration policy?
Yeah, all right, bro. You
Yeah,
got it.
okay, one
You
last
got it.
question. Cherry on top here. What was the bad immigration policy? Can you name one?
I mean, I wouldn't. I would just if she did have immigration policies, I don't think it would be great. I don't think it would be good, and there's definitely proof of that clearly.
Okay, so
As I just
what was the
stated,
bad immigration
as I
policy under
just
Biden and
stated.
Harris? Could you name it? No, right? You can't. Okay, okay, fine, fine. We'll just leave that one in the dust. So you're saying if she did have immigration policy, it was probably going to be bad. She did have immigration policy. Do you know what it was?
No, I don't.
I do. It was the same policy proposed to Congress by Langford and Democrats in the bipartisan border bill, which aided to expedite the legal processes of migration into a country to naturally disincentivize undocumented entry, while giving the president special authority to shut the border down whenever, while implementing an emergency shutdown at 5,000 average weekly crossings. Why is that bad immigration policy? Natural disincentivization of undocumented entry by expediting the neglected legal processes is not only a good thing, but a necessary thing. That's so good for us to do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. I would agree. I mean, I would agree. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but I'm saying like,
Well, now you've contradicted yourself because you told me that she ran on bad immigration policy, and now you're agreeing that her policy wasn't just good, but necessary.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I mean, I didn't disagree with her policies. I was saying
Yeah, you told me that you
that
did.
when she was a vice president and she had a simple task and she didn't even immediately assign it. She didn't immediately take care of the issue. She postponed it.
Okay, what was her task specifically? If you don't know, just tell me.
Addressing the immigration crisis.
Addressing the immigration. No. So more specifically, her issue was to address the socioeconomic concerns that existed in southern Latin American countries caused by the pandemic that were incentivizing individuals to migrate to America. And she did so successfully. She decreased migration from Guatemala specifically by upwards of 50% by diplomatically working with their government to address their socioeconomic conditions. And then further yet, on top of that, if we want to talk about the crisis under the admin as a whole, well, that was caused by the expiration of Title 42, which was a total and complete shutdown, set into place as an emergency precaution given the public health emergency of COVID-19. Okay, as soon as that expired, right, everybody that had been backlogged and denied entry was now coming in to America, right, and their response was to influence bipartisan border legislation through Congress that I, kind of told you about a good 45 seconds ago that we agreed was good and necessary. But Trump
Mm-hmm.
actually called the Republicans in Congress and told them to torpedo that good, necessary bill because he didn't want it to be fixed under the Democrats. So then he'd have people like you, Lucas, voting for him and against Kamala Harris for the reason that you basically blame the continuation of the crisis on them, while coming up on, public social media platforms such as this one, spreading propaganda about how bad they were for the border. You are the reason why Trump torpedoed that bill.
Damn. All right, all right. Can we move on? Can we move on to economic and trade policies?
Sure.
Can we move on to those?
Barry Withers, thank you so much for the £3 over
All
on
right.
YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate that.
Did Kamala Harris not? Did she or did she not oppose the Trans-Pacific Partnership and voted against the USMCA? Do you know what those are?
The TPP? Donald Trump killed the TPP.
Okay, Harris opposed it as well.
wait. I don't know Harris's stance on the TPP while she was in Congress. If she disagreed with the TPP, I disagree with her. But that was when Donald Trump was the president and he killed it. He pulled out. I think it was through the use of an executive order.
Okay, and what about the USMCA?
I don't know. I'm guessing that most Democrats probably didn't support it. I thought it was good though.
Well, I mean,
But do you agree with the USMCA?
I agree with the TPP.
What about the USMCA?
Yeah. I would agree with it
And
because
you think that Kamala Harris was doing something bad by opposing it?
yeah.
Okay, and it was bad to oppose it because the USMCA aided and abetted to reduce tariffs between trade in America, Mexico, and Canada, right? Yeah. Well, what did Trump do in his first 2 weeks of his admin? You know what
This
I'm
isn't what.
Come on.
This isn't about what Trump did.
Come on, bro. Dude, you're going to tell me that you didn't like Kamala Harris because she opposed reducing tariffs on Mexico and Canada, but you love Donald Trump even though he didn't just oppose reducing tariffs. He actually actively signed an executive order into law to increase tariffs on both countries. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I mean, she blocked trade deals that may have hurt American farmers, manufacturers, and businesses that rely on international trade. I mean,
Come on, bro.
how can you state that you are against the UMCA and
Shut your bitch
TPP,
ass up.
bro?
Shut your bitch ass up, bro. Come on. You're telling me that in the Senate she didn't agree with this thing to reduce tariffs. Meanwhile, Donald Trump actively increased tariffs, violating the USMCA, and he's your guy. Okay. How about we say that bad on Kamala Harris and bad on Trump, right? For opposing, right, a reduction in tariffs between trade in America, Canada, and Mexico. But it's extra bad for Trump because he signed an executive order into law to increase them.
Okay, yeah, bad on both of them, I guess.
But this is
Bad on
like
both of them,
this
I
is like
guess.
this is like okay. So you have a cut on your arm. Kamala Harris says, "Well, we're not going to put any Neosporin or no Band-Aid on it." Okay, so bad decision from Kamala Harris, sure. But then Donald Trump takes a knife and just deepens the cut. Who was worse for the cut on your arm?
I mean, like you can say whatever you want, but
Answer
they
my
both
question.
disagreed for both.
Who is
They
worse
both
for the cut on?
disagreed.
Answer my question. Who is worse for the cut on
Obviously,
your arm?
Trump is worse. What kind
Yes,
of question
yes,
is
yes,
that?
yes, yes. Because
But it's not the same.
although
It's not the
Kamala
same.
Harris didn't want to make it better, right? Donald Trump actively wanted to make it worse. Okay, so we have this issue that there's some tariffs and other barriers to trade between America, Mexico, and Canada. UMCA would have made it better, so Kamala Harris doesn't want to make it better, but then Trump actively makes it worse by deepening the cut on your arm or increasing flat tariffs on both countries. And by the way, I don't have any evidence to suggest that Kamala Harris opposed the USMCA. We're just assuming she did because Donald Trump's still worse. Sometimes, for intents and purposes of these conversations, I could assume what you're saying is fact and then still give you a cogent rebuttal.
Damn, bro. Damn. Damn. What do I even say?
Bro, be a liberal. That's what you got to do, Lucas. I know that you know that I'm like just swiping like 10-0. Like and the fact that I know that you know is a very good thing because most people don't know. Okay, but I see you. You're like, oh my god, what do I say? Like, I mean, I can't deny that, right? Well, this is just where you get lived up and shit.
Bro, you know what? Bro, I'm just gonna get off the stand, bro. I'm done, bro.
Become a liberal, Lucas. We want
Nah,
lived out Lucas. LOL, lived out Lucas. Come on, bro.
Lived out Lucas. Yeah, okay, bro. Nah, I'm out of here.
You left. Wait, I kind of fucked with Lucas a little bit. I kind of fucked with him. I kind of fucked with a guy. Dude's gonna be lived out. Dude's gonna be lived out in no time. All right, trust you guys. He's gonna be so fucking lived out in no time. So close with Lucas. So close with Lucas. We're gonna go to move on to that next guest. Lived out Lucas dip. So we're gonna go to move on to that next guest. We got Rectal Anderson loading up. What kind of fucking name is that shit? Yo, Marshall, thank you for the $5 super chat over on YouTube. Said I was just doing debates, like y'all saw on TikTok, and they banned me. Yeah, man. I've just been doing it for so long, so I've experienced with what I can and can't say. It's very important because you can get banned super easily. What's up, Rectal? What did you vote for Trump?
No, but I want to ask for clarification.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. If you have any clarification questions or questions related to clarity and some of the things that I've said, feel free to drop them in the Discord or DM. What's going on? You obviously voted for Trump, right? I have a feeling that you might be a minor, though.
Dude, I hate you, Air Chat. Fuck you.
We're gonna move on to that next guest, guys. Make sure that we're at least 18. For the 5.2 thousand people in here, guys, make sure
Nigger.
My white boy spamming the N-word. I apologize, you guys. Everybody, if you wouldn't mind, if you're over watching on YouTube, let me get a timestamp real quick. 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Let me go ahead and write that one down real quick, so then I'll be able to take it out in post, so we don't have to jump scare anybody watching after the fact. There we go.
Hello, my life.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I voted for Trump.
Okay, and why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate of your lifetime?
Before I did, well, I'm an attorney, so I'll start with something easy. But first off, I want to say mad respect for you because you debated someone very controversial a few months ago. It was the first time I saw you. You were impressive, that you were very respectful, and you were courageous for doing that. Now, number of reasons I voted for him.
Wait. Have I spoken with you before, Mike?
No. Well, actually, I've tried. I've tried to connect the past 2 days to the stream, but the first time my mic echoed, and the second time I missed the cue. So, no, we have not spoken.
Okay, and just real quick, get into some background on you. So you're a barred attorney. Are you actively practicing?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been actively practicing?
Yeah, for a few years at this point.
Okay, wow. So we got Dean Withers versus Bard, actively practicing attorney. Man, what kind of law do you do?
I mean, I'd rather not disclose too much on the
That's
show.
fine. That's fine.
back
That's
and
fine.
forth.
That's fine. That's fine.
But basically, I'm a transactional attorney. I work at a large firm, so I'm going to go out of my environment and basically bring up the crime rate in the city that I'm in, New York. Crime has surged in the city, and it's become a daily life problem. I mean, there are times where we've had to navigate in this city to work where I'm in group chats with other people, and they're saying, "Hey, there's a crazy guy with a knife running around in the subway, and the police won't do anything about it." That is a problem that needs solving. I think that everyone, Republican or Democrat, agrees that that problem needs solving. That said, a Republican president would be more effective in helping solve it because New York's government is ineffective at being able to solve it. In order to have that addressed, you need to have a Republican in power. So this is, I think,
Why?
I know it's a little unique. Go ahead.
Why?
The reason why is that they're going to be able to give the resources to address this on a local level that the state cannot. And here's why.
What kind
New
of
York passed a
resources?
bail. What kind of resources? So, I mean, well, I was going to explain why the state can't address it first. They have
I'd appreciate
At
it
this
if you kind of
point-
speak in like a little bit more like of a general sense, because obviously we're not going to be debating what kind of legislator the state of New York needs. We're going to be talking about the efficacy
Right.
of the Trump administration. So, just in a more general sense, what kind of resources do states, cities, etc., need to appropriately and properly address crime?
well, the first thing that they're going to need is different financial resources in order to actually
More money.
address the crimes that are being prosecuted.
More money.
Some crimes are prosecuted at the federal level.
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes you need financial resources for law enforcement. You need a president that's not going to go in and try to stop efforts by law enforcement, or a president who's part of a party where they're not going to execute public pressure as a result. So one of the problems we have in New York right now, the mayor, Eric Adams, Democrat by the way, is actually trying to address the problem. And then you have Alvin Bragg, who is the district attorney in New York City,
You mind
who is
if I-
currently
you
failing to
kinda-
prosecute. Go ahead.
Kind of just drifting off here. Okay.
You raise your hand.
So first of
Yes.
all, just like pointing at one Democrat that you don't believe is doing a good enough job at addressing crime is not a sufficient argument to demonstrate that that a Republican admin is going to be better than a Democrat admin at addressing crime. So basically, kind of what I got out of you there was that you think more resources in the context of funding towards crime prosecution is going to be necessary towards addressing crime. Okay, while I agree in a very minuscule sense, very, very minuscule, I think that if we truly want to reduce crime rates in America, we need to address what causes the crime first, okay? And what causes the crime unilaterally is poverty, okay? Poverty causes crime. Poverty causes crime. Poverty causes proxy crime. And what party out of the two has tried to do anything about poverty in America and modern American history? That would be
Both parties-
One moment. That would be the Democrats. So Donald Trump's economic policy, for instance, not only, disproportionately serves to the ultra wealthy. 80% of the cuts in the new House Republican bill go to top 0.1% of earners. But it's also the case that when we factor his tariffs into account, all of a sudden everybody making under $395,000 per year is actually going to be worse off than before. And when we compare that to Kamala Harris's economic plan, which was tax cuts for 100 million American workers in the low and middle class and increases in the child tax credit, which would have reduced childhood poverty by upwards of 40%, what do we see? That the average American, right, and more specifically the average low-class American, would have been significantly better off under a Harris presidency compared to a Trump presidency. And if you disagree, all that I'll ask you is to please name one policy that Trump has already passed in his first 5 years, or one that he will pass in his last 3.5, that addresses and helps the average low-class American the most.
I'd say that one of them, I mean, is an indirect thing, and actually most people around me would disagree. I do want to get back to the point I was trying to make, though, because I do want to get back to the point I was trying to make, but I will respond to you here. I mean, one of the things that I would say people around me would disagree, but I actually think is quite smart, is getting rid of the ability for people to deduct state and local taxes from the taxes that they have to pay. And at first you think, why the hell would that be a good thing? Because it means that people have to pay more taxes. it incentivizes the states to be more efficient in their general spending, to be more financially responsible. Ultimately, this is a more efficient solution for using taxpayer money on a local level. So in the short term, it hurts, but in the long term, it does help in terms of actually establishing the right of people to keep the money they earn. That money is actually going to be spent effectively. So you have to be smarter in how it's spent.
I don't even know. By the way, guys, you should be able to hear me a little bit better over on YouTube now.
You can hear me fine, by the way, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. People are saying that about me on YouTube, but like you guys should be able to hear me a little bit better now. So what are you saying? Also, once again, we're talking about the federal level of the Trump admin compared to the Harris admin. Which one you think would be better? And you brought up crime. I brought up that poverty causes crime. So why is Donald Trump better for reductions in crime rates compared to Kamala Harris?
Well, let me get back to that because this actually ties into the.
That's what we're supposed to be talking about. Because that's what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yes. I know you kind of took it off there, and we got into a discussion about poverty. I love talking about anything at all with you, Dean, but I mean, I want to focus on the thing we brought up. So the immigration crisis, so the migrant crisis, has significantly strained an already strained system in New York City. Granted, what happened in 2020 was the New York City's police budget was cut by about 15-20%.
Okay, once again, another decision made on the state level that is irrelevant to our conversation.
I'm afraid it is relevant because they're already strained. So what's happened is the migrant crisis has come to New York. Granted, and I will say this was Republicans that did do this, to your credit. They started busing and flying migrants into New York City because it identified initially as a sanctuary city. And what has happened now is that the city's public services are being overrun. You have the city is spending exorbitant amounts of money to feed these people, to house these people, to give them the resources they need to live a proper life. And they deserve that because they're human beings. Now, however, there needs to be
I have a question. Why do asylum seekers, right, in their first 6 months to a year of being in America, need state-funded food, need state-funded shelter, and state-funded resources to survive? How come asylum seekers in America need that? And by the way, that's all asylum seekers. That is a legal process of migration that has not changed under Trump or Harris and will not change. So I just
are they verified asylum seekers?
Yes. Anybody that is getting state resources from New York, right, is an asylum seeker, a documented asylum seeker. Now, please answer my question. How come asylum seekers for the first 6 to 12 months in America need those resources?
I assume you have an answer. So I assume you have an answer. I don't have one immediately other than they're people and they want to address a humanitarian crisis.
It's because it takes too long to give asylum seekers an ITIN to go to work. Okay, so if we want to fix this issue, right, I don't think the solution is to further demonize undocumented migrants and asylum seekers, lying about their residency status and perpetuating myths that they're incredibly aggressive MS-13 gang members like Trump has. Okay,
that's not what I'm saying.
Solution is to give pathways for asylum seekers and undocumented migrants to get to work faster, to have the ability to produce their own income, to provide for themselves, their families, and those around them, which indirectly also benefits the country as a whole. And by the way, this isn't just an hypothesis; it is already happening. Undocumented migrants every single year pay close to $100 billion in federal, state, and local taxes, which is significantly more than they take out of the system. So when you want to make an argument, right, that there's a migrant crisis that is draining American resources, that is propaganda. That is a lie. Undocumented migrants put more into the system than they take out. And in fact, if we were to stop all undocumented migrants from putting into the system via mass deportation, our country would actually have less resources at the day. And the cherry on top is a near $175 billion in resources it would take to pull off that mass deportation. So what is truly going to drain the resources of America is if we prevent all these undocumented migrants from working by deporting them and then the expenditure of resources on the deportation as a whole. Okay, which is only going to make crime in America worse. Right? So if we want to make crime in America better, We need to, continue to allow productive providers to be productive providers. We need to better enable productive providers to provide to a higher extent quicker, faster pathways to residency or citizenship so they could bargain fairer wages. And then C, right, we need to focus on passing legislation to uplift the purchasing power of the average low and middle class American, which is explicitly what Kamala Harris was going to do. But then when we have Donald Trump saying, well, fuck it, okay, we're actually going to make everybody worse off that's making under $400,000 a year because these blanket tariffs regressively impact you negatively the less money you make. We're going to demonize undocumented migrants. We're going to strip them of their ability to be productive providers. And we're going to spend close to $200 billion on this mass deportation plan, slowing GDP growth and taking $100 billion per year out of our federal, state, and local tax systems, while also spending $8.4 trillion on tax policy that only benefits people making over $395,000 per year, and in accordance with studies done by the Institute of Taxation and Economics. What do you have then? You have more people and worse living conditions with more debt, meaning more inflation, meaning worse living conditions, meaning higher crime rates. So if you want lower crime rates, should have voted blue.
Well, you brought up about 9 different things there. And by the way, I'm going to be coming back on this stream because I love this conversation. You're incredibly intelligent. And again, I want to give you the respect that you deserve because you earned it. That said, getting back to the original point I was going to make, because I still haven't made it, and I apologize because I'm very verbose. It's not very clippable on TikTok. I understand that. The current mayor of the city is trying to deal with the crisis. I mean, as much as you're saying that the migrants contribute more than they take out, I'm not trying to demonize the migrants. I'm not trying to say they're the source of the crime wave. The crime wave existed before the migrants got here. I'm not trying to say that. The problem is that the resources that could be given to law enforcement or to rehabilitative services or to anti-poverty programs are being spread thin because right now the migrants who are getting here to New York City are not able to contribute to the system.
Then go
because
find
there
then
aren't
go,
just jobs
then go find
around.
a debater on TikTok that is willing to discuss the mayor of New York with you. We're discussing federal
Okay, here's
this live.
Yes, and I'm getting to why that's important, is because he's trying to address it, but then the federal government under the Biden administration was not cooperating. He was getting shut out by the Democratic Party. He was kind of getting the cold shoulder from the state governor, from Governor Kathy Hochul, who was considering removing him.
So you're saying
she
just got a cold shoulder from another Democrat on the state level. How does this concern federal politics?
It concerns federal politics because in order to address a problem as large as a migrant crisis, where there are people flying in from around the country and being bussed in from around the country, you need to work with the federal government. And when the federal government largely wants to just ensure that the migrants remain in the country and wants to address it as a humanitarian crisis, but doesn't want to pull the difficult trigger of actually deciding which asylum claims are valid and which asylum claims are not, which, by the way,
wait, that's not the goal of
valid.
the federal government. That's the goal of courts operating under the DOJ at the southern border.
Who runs the DOJ? Who appoints the justices?
Who appoints the justices? Different administrations, different AGs over all of modern American history. It's kind of hard to remove justices. They typically have to retire. And are you saying that Donald Trump is just going to in-place justices to southern courts on the border that just reject asylum claims? Is that your argument? Do you think that there should be less asylum seekers in America? Well, I've already disputed that argument. Right?
Wasn't that part of the dispute over the border bill? Was the idea that both parties generally agreed that there needed to be more resources given to processing asylum claims and processing claims for immigrants?
Yeah, meaning that we actually want to have less asylum seekers. We'd have more asylum seekers.
Okay, but then the question becomes who appoints those justices? Who decides how those resources will be appointed?
I don't understand how that conversation is relevant at all. Once again, I've already responded to asylum seekers in New York. Okay, it is the case that asylum seekers and undocumented migrants pay more into the system than they take out. And if you want to resolve the issue of reliance on state systems for the bare necessities to live for the first 6 to 12 months spent in our country, we need to just expedite the path to be able to go to work and get an ITIN to be a productive provider into the economy. But of course, you don't want to talk about that. You'd rather just say, let's pull the plug. Let's do this mass deportation that's just going to exhaust more state resources, more federal resources, while taking active, positive, productive providers out of the American economy. That's only going to make conditions worse off, and I've already described that to you. Okay, and by the
Well,
way,
that's what I'm getting to.
those are all second-order consequences. I just want to point that out. Everything that you listed off, everything I listed off, are second or third-order consequences. Of course, you don't want to talk about first-order consequences of tax policy that directly harms the average American. You don't want to talk about the first-order consequences of missing out on Kamala Harris, who would have increased the child tax credit, which would have reduced childhood poverty. You don't want to talk about any of the first-order consequences that are directly related to the quality of life of the Americans living in New York that would have reduced poverty rates, thereby reducing crime rates. You don't want to talk about any of the first order consequences, only the second order consequences. But once again, I've been over the second order consequences with you 3 or 4 times now. The issue that you were pointing out is asylum seekers in New York draining resources. Okay? So first response number 1, they don't drain resources. They put more into the system than they take out on the macro scale. Okay. Second response. If you want to fix the issue of reliance on state systems for the first 6 to 12 months spent in America, right? The way to solve that is not just to deport them all. That'll drain more resources. The way to solve that is to give expedited pathways to residency, citizenship, or an ITIN to go to work to get off of a reliance on state systems. Do I need to say that all again? Because that's the 4th or 5th time saying
No, you don't need to. No, you don't need to say it all again. And you've said. I mean, I think that we've reached a point where I think the fundamental disagreement here is whether the migrant crisis drains resources. You're saying that they don't. They may not be true at a national level, but the government of New York City disagrees. I do have to hop off.
Okay,
soon,
wait.
I want to clear this.
Wait. Let's just assume that
Sure.
asylum seekers are taking more resources away from the New York state government than they're putting into the system. Okay. Well, if you do mass deportation, all of a sudden, you're just going to be taking out more resources from the system, and you will still have asylum seekers going to New York because asylum is international law, and we can't just overturn that with an executive order from a fascist. So obviously, if we want to optimize, right, the fix to this issue, let's just offer them a quicker pathway to have an ITIN to go to work, because we know that if they have the proper ability to work, they will work, and that is what we see on the macro scale, and that's what we've seen for essentially all of modern American history. Like, that is what we need to do, even if we make that assumption that asylum seekers are draining resources from the state of New York.
Yes, and I agree that those resources need to be expedited, but they need to be expedited in a smart way. You can't just hit a rubber stamp and approve every single one that comes across. Most claims for asylum are not legitimate.
Okay, well now you're completely changing the goalpost. Before, your argument up until this point was that the asylum seekers in New York are draining their resources, leaving them with the state with less funding to address crime. So now that I've debunked that argument, now your new position is most asylum claims are illegitimate. Well, the position that most asylum claims are illegitimate is completely separate from the position that those that are in America operating under asylum claim are draining resources. So you've shifted.
Well, you asked how it applies. You asked how it applies to the federal government. Is the problem that the asylum seekers can't get the proper resources because their claims are not being processed, unless I misunderstood you there. Did I understand that correctly?
I honestly didn't really even hear what you just said.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I guess my mic isn't the best quality. So you're arguing that we need to expedite these asylum seekers' claims so that they're able to get the resources that they need to work, or they need to be treated properly if their claims are not legitimate.
No. For the asylum, well, yes, of course,
No.
I think that we should expedite the asylum seeking claim. But what I was referring to that I think you're missing out on is the asylum seekers that have had their claims processed and got the stamp and are now in America. They should have an expedited process to get an ITIN to go to work once they're in America already.
If you have a legitimate claim to asylum, I do believe that you should be processed in the speediest way possible so that you are given the proper treatment. I agree with that. But the reason why I'm connecting this, I'm not trying to move the goalpost. I'm trying to show you how federal policy at this level is going to impact this local issue. I started with a local issue, which probably should not have done, confused us a little bit.
So I'm just confused on what your position is. Can I get a clear position?
My position is that we need someone in the federal government who is looking to deal with this crisis that we are facing right now on the ground in New York. It is having second-order effects. It is raising rents.
Okay, so what is Donald Trump going to do? Wait, I've already responded to this.
Yes. What he would do is he would probably respond to some of the same solutions that you have proposed, actually, with the bipartisan border bill, ironically enough.
Okay,
which would include increasing resources to expedite these claims, but they will be expedited.
So give me any evidence. Give me like a proposed policy from Agenda 47 that indicate what you're saying is true.
All right. Okay. So this is my fault because I will admit I did come into this not fully prepared to discuss that. I do want to come back and bring this to you at some point, though, because I don't want to come in unprepared, and I want to give you the respect you deserve.
Okay.
I will admit, I don't have one in my pocket. I don't have one in my hand right now. I'm standing here with my phone, and I'm still figuring out how to use TikTok, to be honest with you. So,
Okay. So yeah. All right. Well, you just want to come back when you're able to get that evidence.
absolutely, I'd be more than happy to. And it was a pleasure having this conversation.
Yeah, appreciate you for your time, Mike. Have a good one. Peace out. Yo, Skyla, thank you so much for the $5 super chat over on YouTube and with the $2 super chat. Skyla says, thank you for educating those who refuse to be ignorant and for absolutely cooking those trumpets. You were so intelligent and articulate. Love you. Oh, man, I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Also, I see you guys down there in the comment section. Lola, appreciate you for the $3 on PayPal. I read your message there. And you got it. And then Julia with 2 U's, thank you so much for the $15 donation over on PayPal. Saying hello there again, amazing live. Love you, Ma. I love you too, Julia. Thank you for showing up once again today. You are in here every single day. Just know that we all love and appreciate you. Huge W's for Julia and all of the live chats. Once again, guys, my Venmo is still suspended. So if you want to support the stream, you got to do it through PayPal. If you don't have PayPal yet, you want to support me, you can support me over on YouTube through their super chat. What is up, Harrison? Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not. I just wanted to ask if you could say.
I'm sorry, man. We gotta move on. I'm pretty sure you're a fetus. For the 5.5 thousand people in here, guys, double tap on that phone screen for me. Tessa, what's up? You vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Age, please.
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, phenomenal. Brittany, did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. I just had a question about some of the policies, so didn't know if this.
I'm sorry, Brittany. Go ahead and hit me up on the Discord, though. All right, Tessa, so why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate, not just your life, but your parents' life as well?
DEI, mostly.
What does DI stand for?
Diversity and equity inclusion.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So what about DI made you want to vote for Trump?
Well, just like you guys are going to flame me for this, but I just personally don't think women should be working. I think they need to stay home with their husbands.
Are you trolling?
No. I'm married and I love my husband, and I don't understand why women are even working in the first place, honestly.
Bro, trad wife at 18. Are you from Utah?
Yeah, what about it?
Salt Lake City? Provo?
I don't know why that matters.
Am I right? Am I spot on?
I'm not going to dox myself.
Well, obviously, if you're not going to tell me I'm wrong, that means I'm right. LDS, right?
Yeah, I do
Yeah?
love God.
Yeah. How long have you been going to temple? Since birth? LDS parents too?
Well, I mean, I can't get into the temple till I'm 12.
Isn't that crazy that I just read you like a book? Literally, with just like 2 sentences.
I don't read, so I don't know what you mean.
Okay, you're fucking trolling. That was good. That's good. We're going to move on to the next guest. What is up, Jack? Did you vote for Trump?
Howdy, brother. Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Okay.
2006. How you doing?
Dude, all right, man. So why did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump for one reason, and it's the reason why he ran in the first place. It's what he basically backpacked his entire campaign on, and that's tariffs. And let me explain to you why tariffs are good. And I know you like the debate. Just give me a second to explain this, right? So you have all these libs, these Nobel Prize winning economists that are telling you that tariffs are a 1-to-1 inflationary ratio, right? And so we're seeing that yes, there's inflation, whatever, yada yada. So what? Trump wanted to lower inflation. It doesn't matter. This does not matter. You know why? You know why? It doesn't matter because Americanization, baby. Americanization. Those tariffs that are inflationary don't matter because Americanization is going to make America great, because those 10% tariffs are enough to decentivize manufacturing in foreign countries, because they're going to spend millions of dollars.
Quit your out. Just got a quick question.
All right.
Would you pay $20 per egg if it meant making America great again?
100%, baby. You know I will.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Hey, man, we got some trolls today, but at least they're funny as hell. I'm going to give it to them. At least the trolls today are entertaining, okay? We're going to go to get that next guest up in here. Everybody just give us a minute. For the 6.3 thousand people watching over on TikTok, guys, make sure we're double tapping. What is up, Donkey Kong? You vote for Trump? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, goodbye. And moving on to the next guest, guys. Make sure that you're spamming MAGA in that chat. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you guys didn't join if you're a troll. On yesterday's stream, it was like 70% trolls. And I even saw a couple of people in the YouTube comments being like, oh man, I can't even watch this. There's all these trolls. So please don't join. Joy, what's up? You vote for Trump?
I did, but here, can I compliment you real quick?
You could.
Out of all out of all your friends, you're the only one I'll listen to. I respect what you do. You're a better debater than Parker.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Well, here's the thing. When Parker goes, he sounds like Busta Rhymes. You're very calm, cool, collective. And I feel like you're in law school. You in law school?
No, I'm not in law school. It's an interesting perspective. It's a very contentious debate. Who's the more calm, cool, and collected debater, me or Parker? 50% of the people will say me, 50% of the people will say Parker. It definitely switches on and off over time. There's definitely been a lot of points where I've said I have been significantly less calm, cool, and collected than Parker. And there's been some points where I've been like, Parker's a little less calm, cool, and collected than me. So it kind of goes back and
Well, he
forth.
sounds like Busta Rhymes when he goes on a rant. So, like, I'm deaf in one ear.
Okay.
I'm deaf in one ear. So, like,
Well,
I put it on the deaf side sometimes because I like listening to debates.
How about this? We all have our subjective preferences. I think that Parker is an incredibly intelligent and honestly stand-up guy.
He is.
He's my best friend and he's awesome. But oh my god, I'm so sorry. But yo, 1 second, yo Zach. Oh my gosh, ZAK with the $100 YouTube super chat. Holy crap, Zach. Zach says, I'm new to your content, but it makes me so hopeful for the future for my young sons that you're so intelligent and informed. Keep embarrassing those broken brain cultists. Dude, oh my gosh, let's get at least 1,000 W Zachs in both of the live chats. Zach, that is so incredibly kind of you, and I'm so appreciative for the fucking $100 donation. Oh my god, thank you so much. Everybody, please show some love to Zach. Holy W's. Thank you so much, Zach. It's going to go a long way, and I just really appreciate you, brother. Huge ups to Zach. But anyways, Parker aside, Joey, why'd you vote for Trump?
It's more the Second Amendment, but I grew up in a household where I have two New York Italian families, like two New York Italian parents. My mom's from Yonkers. My dad's from the Bronx. My mom says gravy. My dad says sauce. My mom's Sicilian. My dad's Calabrese. Mom's a Democrat. Dad's a Republican. Grew up with nothing but arguments. So like political stuff, I'm not like whatever. But it was mostly for the Second Amendment. But for me, because
What about Tue?
so my thing is, I grew up in a New England state, and the shooting happened in 2016, right down the street from my high school. I'm 31, by the way. I was a correctional officer at the time. I knew the three people that died that day, and it was just a little mess up.
I
Because
just wanted to be more specific with my question. How did Kamala Harris want to infringe upon your Second Amendment?
Now I live in a very strict state, but my thing is, it wasn't that. It was just like, I believe like people should get what they want, but there should be a process. Where I'm at now, you have to take a class. And I respect that 100%.
Yeah.
So I think just like driver's ed, you should be able to
No, I actually agree with you there. That's base. But once again, how did Kamala Harris want to infringe upon your Second Amendment right?
Well, a lot of strict restrictions. Like
There
was a lot. It was more like to me, it was more going towards California like status where it's a pain in the ass. The specific stuff, I'm not really sure. I go on some stuff, but really, I personally am not. That was the only thing, but like,
okay. So in other words, you just kind of caught a vibe that she was gonna take your guns away because she was.
It wasn't take it. It was just make it more difficult.
Oh, I feel like this is probably a result of just this belief that you hold that Democrats make it more and more difficult. So how did the Biden-Harris administration make it more and more difficult over the last 4 years?
Well, I lived in New England, so it's very difficult, and I worked in law enforcement.
What did they do to make it worse?
Well, in Democratic states.
Wait, no, Biden and Harris, the last federal admin.
I don't know about the federal stuff.
They
I
didn't
just
do
know
anything.
about the
They
state
literally
stuff.
didn't do anything.
Well, yeah, I get that, but there was more.
So why would you have any reason to believe that Kamala Harris would do anything?
There's, I don't know. Me, I had what I had because I worked in law enforcement. I was a correctional officer for 3.5 years, gang investigator, second in command of SWAT. Like,
Joe, I think that your mic cut out there. Oh shit, he just left. I doubt that he left. I'm like willing to believe that. Joe, I don't think I know what really happened there. Joey, try to hop back in that queue for me, man. I don't know what happened there. Just hop back in that queue for me, okay? Hop back in that queue for me. So, I'm muted over on TikTok right now, YouTube. I know y'all saw it. It's okay. Keep it quiet. Shh. What's going on? Did he vote for Trump? Okay, they're not even here, so we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everybody, do just gotta give us a minute here. We got Mike loading up into the box, guys, for the 6.4 thousand people in here. Y'all make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Let's get Mike up in that box, you guys. Make sure that you're spamming MAGA down below in that chat if you did vote for Trump. For the 1.5 thousand, for the 1.2 thousand people watching over on YouTube, how the fuck is there only 25 likes on the stream? What the hell? That is crazy work. All right, we got the next guest loading in right now, y'all. Let's see a couple MAGAs down below in that chat. What's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
18? Yeah. What year were you born in?
2006.
I don't believe you. I don't know why. I just don't.
You don't believe me? I just wanted to ask your favorite flavor of anxiety pen.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Hello, Carson. You vote for Trump?
Oh shit! Sorry, I was not expecting to get in the chat. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Okay. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen, y'all. Let's get up to 1 million likes. 1 million likes. You did?
I did vote for Trump. Yes.
Oh fuck, man. Why?
Mainly just purposes on the economy. To be honest, I didn't start getting into politics like a couple weeks ago. 2020. I voted
weeks
for him.
ago. That was after the election.
I know. Well, I started seeing you, Parker, Harry on my algorithm, and I was like, all right, let's see. I'm open-minded.
Yeah. Okay. So, what about what's your favorite Trump economic policy?
I don't know anything in particular. I mean, I heard about the 2017 jobs
tax
cut.
Jobs Act.
Yeah. And I was reading just recently, and I saw some articles saying, oh, it was not beneficial, and it actually.
So you voted for Trump because of TCJ. That's your argument.
It's not my argument.
Then what is?
I just thought things were better under him. That was just the main reason. But again, I'm just now getting into it, and I'm seeing, you guys are pretty educated. I kind of want to learn from you guys. So
okay, check this. Economy was better under Trump than it was under Biden and Harris. This means Donald Trump's economic policy caused it to be better, right?
I don't know.
Oh, man, that was like the first clarifying position of your question. If your answer there is I don't know, like a conversation is almost impossible.
Well, I was looking at the tariff policy, and I understand with tariffs, and I don't think he's put any tariffs on yet, but I know for his whole thing with tariffs is, okay, so basically we're bringing business back.
Wait, 1 second. I thought that your position was that the economy was better, therefore he's better for the economy.
Well,
I
thought it was better, and I'm trying to learn, okay, how can he actually make the economy better? Will that be with tariffs? Will that be by bringing business back to the United States?
Okay, so you think he's better for the economy because of tariffs? That's your position?
Possibly, yes.
What do you, bro? Possibly? Okay. So how are tariffs going to make our economy better?
Well, it'll bring those companies back to the United States.
Okay.
So I've heard.
So tariffs are going to re-injuvenize American production of goods by bringing more companies back to America. So now, when there's a company producing outside of America and we impose tariffs on them, they're not just simply going to pick up their ship and move to America. They're just going
I know it takes years.
They're
It's
just
definitely
going to increase the price of their products. But what that does and how that increases domestic production of goods is that it prices American-produced goods back into the market. So at the end of the day, if we impose tariffs, you're right, we will have some bump in American production of goods, but I actually find that to produce a lot of inefficiencies because it's restricting comparative advantage. So we should be focusing on making what we're good at making. We shouldn't be trying to focusing on everything all at once because that will relatively decrease the quality of all goods. Imagine this. I spent my whole life learning how to play piano. At the day I die, I'm going to be a damn good pianist, right?
Right.
Right. But if I spend my whole life trying to learn piano, trombone, guitar, the trumpet, the bass, and then I also try to learn 25 languages, become a pro debater and a master chef. At the end of my life, relatively speaking, in all those different fields, I'm not going to be the best.
Okay.
And it would probably have been better if I just isolated in one or two of those things. Well, that's what comparative advantage is, okay? The more you spread a country out, right, because of protectionist policies such as tariffs, the worse the economy actually does in the long run. And I'll give you a good example of this. North Korea or South Korea, who do you think has more protectionist policy, things like tariffs to isolate their manufacturing sector?
Well, South Korea.
North Korea.
Oh, okay, yeah. Obviously.
And who has a better economy?
Well, obviously South Korea.
Boom. And that's why comparative advantage is important. And you only get comparative advantage through globalized trade.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like I said, I am I just voted for Trump in 2020 because like wasn't really paying attention to what's going on in the world. Oh yeah, Trump, yeah, make America great again. And then 2024, one of my things that I like to say is, hold on, what's my train of thought here? Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and not expecting change. So I just thought, if things aren't necessarily good with Biden and Harris, why would they be good with Harris? So
Wait, what is one
That's
bad policy the
where I
Biden
stood.
Harris administration passed?
I think that the Inflation Reduction Act probably wasn't. It wasn't that they passed anything that harmed. It's just I don't think that the things
the
that
Inflation
they
Reduction
tried.
Act was one of their best pieces of legislation.
Mm,
Yes, no. So it was a super big investment into fracking, bumping up domestic production of oil. It was the largest investment our country has ever had into renewable energy resources, and then also reduced the deficit over 10 years. It was like a perfect piece of legislation.
it just seemed like inflation just kept bumping up and up. But
what does that tell
I'll
us
look
about
into
the
it.
CBO's
I'll look
estimate
into
that
it. I'm
decreased
definitely
inflation?
willing to.
Wait, just saying that inflation rates continue to increase after they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, right?
I don't know
Which
when
was
they
deficit
exactly passed
reducing and
it.
made these big investments. Like, I'm so sorry. That's just like such a stupid opinion. Like, for instance, if like Donald Trump fired like 1,000 American workers right now, that'd be bad for GDP growth, right?
Yeah, well, he just did.
But like the GDP would continue to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So therefore, it wasn't bad for GDP growth. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the arguments you're making. It's like, oh, like you'd expect the Inflation Reduction Act to literally cause deflation. If it does anything but cause deflation, apparently it's a bad act. Like I just can't stand behind that, man.
Right.
So,
I get you.
Is there anything else you want to share?
No, that's it. Like I said, I'm
Alright.
just trying to learn. I don't think I'll vote Republican.
Base man.
Again,
Base man.
We'll see.
It's
All
awesome,
right.
Carson.
Well,
Appreciate you for your time, man.
have a good day, man.
You as well. Julie, thank you so much for the 20 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Everybody, please show some love to Julie in the comment section. Thank you so much. Julie says hi from Quebec, Canada. Thank you for your great work. I love you, Julie. Thank you so much for the donation as well as your very kind message. Huge shout out to Julie. What's going on, West Vaughan? You vote for Trump?
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries, man. I'm going to go and assume that means that you didn't, and you didn't even mean to join in the first place. So we're going to go to get that next guest up here right now for the 6.3 thousand people over on TikTok. Make sure you're double tapping. If you want to support me, the only way you can support the stream today is through PayPal, which is in the link in the bio. Now, if you want to support, one moment. If you want to support the stream and you don't have,
can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hey,
Give me
yo.
a moment.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay.
So just give me a moment. If you want to support the stream and you don't
You're
have,
cutting out. You're cutting out. Yo.
I'm not cutting out.
My Wi-Fi.
Your Wi-Fi is fine. There's no bars. Just relax, okay? Just fucking relax. Allie with the money gun. Going back to what I was going to say. If you want to support the stream and you don't have PayPal, feel free to support the stream over YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, I've always had a Venmo, but Venmo took it down, so. And if you want to find my YouTube, you can find it in the link tree in the bio, alongside the PayPal. Okay, Hunter, did you vote for Trump?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
The answer to your question is yes, Hunter. Dude, he just left. Oh, dude, what the fuck is going on? Dude, should we be concerned for Hunter? What's up, Peyton? You vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Age. Yeah, that's right. Sophie, thank you for the money again. I appreciate that. Elijah's loading up. Here we go, guys. Okay, 4 out of 10 troll. A little annoying. What's up, Elijah? You vote for Trump?
Hey, Dean. No, I didn't vote for either of them. Is that a
Nope. Moving on to the next guest. No vote, no voice, unfortunately. We got Cookie Monster loading up into the live. Cookie Monster will come debate me. Here we go. Cookie Monster. Hello. Come here, Cookie Monster. Come here. Spam MAGA in that chat if you want to join in debate. Quite frankly, Cookie Monster is not loading up. So here we go, everybody. Do just give us one moment. Just looking for our next guest. We got Poopy Doop. Poopy Doop loading in. Quite frankly. Hello, Poopy Doop. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. He sucks.
Get your booty off this live. Your poopy booty, quite frankly. Moving on to the next guest. Okay. Username's loading up. And guys, if you're in that queue, make sure you voted for Trump. This is unreal. Man. I'm fucking real. Unreal. Jamie Spam is loading up in. Jamie Spam, here we go. Here we go. 1.2K people over on YouTube. Love you all. Phenomenal, man. Okay, all right, guys. It's about the time where I could officially say that we fucking won because no Trump supporters want to debate me. Can we just start? Can we just make that clear? Okay. In total, we have 8,000 people watching live right now. Not a single Trump supporter wants to come up here and debate me. We won. Literally GG's.
No way! Oh my gosh, I love you, Dean. You're my best friend.
Well, I appreciate you for that love, man. You know, it's like, of course, everybody in the guest request is, you know, not a Trump supporter because no Trump supporters want to join. Like literally, there's more liberals than Trump supporters in the guest request, even though I'm making it explicitly clear that I do not want liberals to join. You know, that just really fucking shows you. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Age, please.
29.
29. So why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate of your life, Donald J. Trump?
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Well, on top of just having bad policy, I mean, I guess that's not unique to him. He's also an adjudicated rapist, 34-count felon that explicitly called for the ethnic cleansing of Gaza Strip through U.S. ownership, occupation, and destruction. Alongside the fact that he kind of intentionally, willingly let violent...
Wait, hold up.
Okay,
we're going to do this one at a time.
He has
one
no
at a
good
time.
immigration policy, just
Hold up.
Scare tactics,
Hold up.
getting prejudiced white people to vote for him.
That's what I thought. You knew that I couldn't break this down for you. The very first one. Let's go up to the very first one. You said something about Gaza. What does that have to affect me or this country? We're going to break this down, buddy. That's what I thought. See, you just made your maker. Let's break this down.
Wait, are you trolling?
No, not at all, bud.
Wait, so
I
you
want to
just-
break this down. For
Wait,
you.
so you just asked a question, and then when I was like giving you like the insufferable,
You wanted to give me multiple. You wanted to give me
unbearable
multiple
response of like crunching
But
my
out of
eyes,
respect, you
and
should
you're
have
like, "That's
stopped
right,
so we
buddy,
could
you
break
got
this
my-"
down.
Fine, let's stop and break it down.
Break it down. Okay.
Okay. So
the very first one was
that he
about
wants
Gaza.
to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip.
Okay. How does that affect us?
How does it affect you or me? It doesn't.
Right. So get that out of your, that's opinionated. So
Are you saying that we
next
shouldn't
one?
care about things that don't affect you or me?
It's cleansing. Okay. They don't affect us.
Okay. I just
Next
want to
one.
clarify. No, we're not going to move
No,
on.
next one.
No,
Next
No,
one.
I
No,
refuse
next
to move
one.
on because I want to rebuttal your response. Are you scared of letting me rebuttal your
Oh
response?
my gosh. We just said it doesn't affect us. So, it's opinionated.
So
Let's
let
go
me
to the next
rebuttal
one.
your... No.
It's not a fact.
Okay.
It's not a fact.
It is a fact. I'm going to rebuttal your
No.
response here. Are you white?
Yes.
Okay. If you and me were alive during the times of slavery, would we be negatively affected by slavery?
Yes.
Why? We were white.
Yeah, but it's still affected by it.
How so?
Good or bad. Good or bad. There was no good in it anyways.
Okay, so
What's this have to do with slavery? Hold up. Whoa. What's this to do with slavery?
It's a conceptual analogy.
Nothing.
So would
the
you
Gaza
be,
has nothing to do with slavery. So,
it's-
next question.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
Next
and,
one.
Okay, Daniel.
That's what I thought,
Unless
buddy.
you can slow down, I'm gonna have to mute you here because I want to be able to make this point. But you're
Nobody's
making it impossible.
slowing down. You're the one speeding up. You're bringing up slavery when this has nothing to do with slavery. We're talking about
Here we go.
America.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an
That's
opportunity.
done and over with. That's the past. It's history. That's why we talk about it in history.
Daniel, I'm
It's
gonna
done
give
and
you
over with.
I'm gonna give you an opportunity here to just
That's
take
what
a
I
chill
thought.
pill on your own and allow me to
That's
speak
what I
without
thought,
interruption.
buddy.
That's what
You
I
only wanna do what
Wait, you
you
thought
wanna
I was
do.
gonna be respectful? Because I'm being respectful. I'm just like, hey man, I don't want to like mute you or anything. I just want to like see if we could figure out some way to have a productive conversation here where we could both speak. I just want you to.
I just wanna
allow
understand
let me
you.
speak. So I'm gonna go ahead and start speaking. But Daniel, before I start speaking, I want to make it clear: if you interrupt me, I will mute you, and I hate doing that. It's not that much fun. So let's just like try to be cordial. Let's have some decorum. Just let me finish. So I brought up the fact that Donald
Vice
Trump wants to
versa.
violate. Daniel, what did I just say?
This ain't a dictation, bud.
It is my dictation, and I'll go ahead and prove it to you by muting you. Going back to what I was saying, I don't know what this guy's problem is. I literally don't know what this guy's problem is. Anyways, so I brought up the fact that Donald Trump wants to violate the human rights of 1.4 million individuals living on the Gaza Strip. And then you were like essentially positing the idea that this isn't relevant nor pertinent towards the evaluation of his efficacy as president due to the fact that that doesn't personally impact you or I. Okay, well, I don't believe that a humanitarian issue has to personally impact you to make it morally relevant. Okay? I think that is an incredibly egotistic, narcissistic, deluded, kind of psychotic position. Right? And we could demonstrate this with, this fact. I was going to ask you this as a question so you could prove it to yourself. You proved yourself incapable of doing so. So now I'll just lay it out to you as a position. So if Donald Trump wanted to bring back slavery in America today by enslaving 1/3 of the American population, but this would not personally impact you, me, or anybody we know, we obviously, hopefully you included, would not be okay with it. And you'd look at that as a very bad decision that would make Trump a very bad president, even though it doesn't personally impact you or I. So this demonstrates that mass humanitarian issues can be relevant in an evaluation that a president is bad, even if they don't personally impact you or I. So go ahead. I'm very happy that I had the availability and opportunity to explain to you why 1.4 million human rights violations is relevant. Thank you.
So
Daniel.
him cleansing the Gaza is slavery.
So it's a human rights violation of ethnic cleansing and violating their right to self-determination. It falls under the same category as slavery. Would that be in human rights violations? Yes.
How?
How? Like I just told you, they're both human rights violations.
So how is it a human right violation? That's what I'm ignorant to how it's a violation.
Yeah, it's a violation of their human right to self-determination and bodily autonomy when you want to forcefully remove 1.4 million individuals from their homeland and relocate them to places across the earth.
Okay, so he's doing that without their permission.
Precisely.
So was there a second reason why you didn't like him? That's pretty good. Okay, I'll just say that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons why I don't like him.
Okay, what was the second one?
Pick your choice. He's an adjudicated rapist. He's isolated us from other foreign world leaders. His economic policy is bad for anybody that isn't rich.
I just feel like it's weird that everyone likes him. I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's weird that everyone likes him. All the leaders that we should be scared of.
They don't.
Like Putin.
Putin likes him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Russia's pretty scary.
I don't think Putin liking him is a good thing. Do you think that Putin would only be willing to cooperate in a friendship with another world leader if said other world leader is conducive towards Putin achieving his goals?
I mean, honestly, wouldn't it be a better thing that sorry, I'm his wife.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't it be a better thing that we're getting along with Russia and not going against them, because they're kind of scary people. Talk for me, babe.
So okay. It's a worse thing that we're getting along better with Russia right now, at least. Okay, Chelsea, thank you for the $3 Canadian on YouTube super chat. Yeah. The reason it's a worse thing is better relations with Russia means that we are just helping Russia achieve their goals easier. Okay, I don't think that Putin really cares about Trump, cares about any American, cares about anyone outside of himself. I mean, he's literally killed political opponents that have run against him, right, in Russia. The only thing Putin cares about is what will aid and abet him to achieve his end goals. And when we see Putin having better relations with Trump over Harris, that just means that Trump is more likely to help Putin achieve his goals than Harris. Obviously, the next question to ask is, well, are his goals good or bad? Russian expansionism, violation of one's human right of all Ukrainians to the right to self-determination, and annexation of said foreign land is a very bad goal. So when Donald Trump is like aiding Putin, right, in achieving said bad goal to a higher degree than Kamala Harris, this is actually a negative reflection of Trump and his admin.
All right.
What about all the people that he had released from hostage in that other country?
Other country. I could fill in the blanks for you. I'm assuming you're talking about hostage releases in Palestine and Israel, right?
Yeah.
So that deal is brokered by the Biden-Harris administration, not by Trump. It would literally was put into effect prior to Trump's inauguration.
But why was it done when Trump was officially in office?
Well, it was done before that.
But we didn't hear about it until Trump was in the office.
You didn't hear about it until Trump was in office. I heard about it the same day it was signed into effect, which was before his inauguration.
Well, maybe one day you'll jump on the Trump train.
No, come on. Well, I'm not. I'm hoping that maybe one day you guys will.
I want to know more deeper information about Trump.
I have
why? Because I'm pretty skeptical about him. That's why I kind of joined. but I want to know reasons why people don't like him. I want to know the information. I'm,
Yeah.
skeptical about it.
Do you mind if I
But-
ask you what state you guys are from? Louisiana.
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird that everybody likes him.
Well, I don't think everybody likes him.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Shit, more people
you know.
voted for Biden in 2020 than people that voted for Trump in 2024.
well, that's what you mainly see here in Indiana.
Oh,
in
okay. We're just
person.
talking about your area. I mean, man,
Yeah.
I'm from the western slope of Colorado. 75% of the
you
people in
know-
my county voted red. Essentially, everybody around me, apart from a few friends and maybe like one family member, as well as my grandparents, of course, are Trump supporters. You just live in a Republican area, so do I, right? Because on like the more like micro scale, right, politics aren't evaluated as heavily as they should be, and they're more so just promoted as emotional ideals that form tribes in different like geographical locations, and they're not really that too correlated to rationale or fact when you have echo chambers where people get all of their political beliefs from Fox Entertainment. Like I literally went over to a Christmas party, right, with my aunt, who's probably never had a political discussion with anybody that was not a Republican in modern American history. And my aunt was looking at me like I was a fucking alien, asking me the most basic questions and proposing the most, sorry, aunt, stupid beliefs I've heard, right? And, I had a moment of realization where I was like, well, like, obviously this is going to be how she, like, consumes and, like, discusses and thinks about politics. Her only source of information is the TV. Nobody's there to fact check her. Nobody's there to push back on what she believes. And that is what happens across our country.
Yeah. I mean, we just live in a small town, and I guess I was closed-minded thinking in the beginning. Like, around here, that's what everybody talks about is Trump's the best, but now that I've been talking to you, why? Why do people think that? Why so many people around here, or I see on TikTok, because my wife's algorithm, why
I'm
is
actually
it?
quite intrigued by you.
Okay.
You're like having a conscious experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open-minded, but
that's
I want the person to slow down and explain why they have their
sure
their opinion.
I'll go ahead and
Or facts. Opinion or facts.
I'll go over a couple things here, and then I'm going to move on to the next guest. But before I do, I'll go over a couple things that I really don't like about Trump. Okay, I really don't like that he wants blanket tariffs, because tariffs hurt you the less money you make, because you spend a greater proportion of your income on the bare necessities to live that are more expensive because of those tariffs. Maddie, thank you for the galaxy. So in other words, it just taxes you more the less money you make. We don't like that, okay? Very bad for low-income Americans, right? Second of all, his tax policy disproportionately helps really rich people like him and other people in Congress. 80% of the tax cuts on this $4.5 trillion bill go to the ultra-wealthy, top 0.1% of earners. Very bad. I think the average American needs those tax cuts. The reason I voted for Kamala Harris is because she solved both of these issues. She didn't have blanket tariffs, and her tax policy was just for people like you and me and 100 million other workers in the low and the middle class. Would have benefited more under her. Okay? Little bit about economic policy there. What about character? This is a very bad character. So let's just assume that there's a random man living in your town that was very outspoken, trying to wiggle his fingers into any position of power. Maybe he's running for mayor. And this random man had raped a woman. This random man hit on your 10-year-old daughter. This random man was boasting to you about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. Okay? Right? This random man called all black people lazy in the 90s. This random man said that he just loves to grab women by their P word and doesn't have to ask first because of how much they love him. Like, Daniel, you probably fucking hate this random guy, right? You think he's like a pompous POS, right?
My wife's name's Danielle. This is her TikTok account. I'm her husband. I don't have TikTok, so my name's Forrest.
Well, Forrest, like, if there's a
Yeah.
random man in your town that all of these qualifications applied to, you'd probably think they're a pompous POS, right? Wouldn't like him very much.
I have a 9-year-old daughter, so yeah, that would, kind of make me feel uncomfortable to be around someone like that. But
Yeah, but
I mean,
everything I
Biden
just
was
said,
accused of the same stuff.
everything I just said is true of Trump. And for whatever reason, because of political propaganda and messaging on the federal scale across our country over the course of all of modern American history, like, the average American is just less susceptible to care about it because it's Trump. But everything I just said was true of Trump.
Yeah, I guess we could pick and poke at anybody that's has a spotlight on him. There's something about somebody that we don't like. that we can.
But you could
we could
pick
put
and,
it.
but you could
Yeah.
pick and poke more at Trump than anybody else ever. Like it's,
Yeah, I mean,
it's not
yeah.
picking. Like I mean, hopefully, if Trump didn't have a spotlight, people
Yeah.
that knew who he was would still care that he raped Eugene Carroll, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Right. If Trump didn't
I
have a
mean,
spotlight,
it's even
you'd
being
still
brought out
think-
into the spotlight and nothing's being done.
Yeah, and
And
if Trump
multiple
didn't have a
people-
spotlight, hopefully you would still not want to be around him because he hit on a 10-year-old girl, said that he'd be dating her 10 years, right? You know, it's like you could say it's just picking and poking at someone in the spotlight, but I disagree because if these things were true of somebody without a spotlight in your personal life, you'd probably still not want to be around them. Like these aren't just like minuscule things that mainstream media is exploiting and blowing up to seem like a big deal. These things are like genuinely a big deal. And the way to test that claim is just to apply the things that Trump has done to like somebody that you know in your personal life and see if you care.
Okay, what's your opinion on the Elon Musk and him saving all this money and the Doge and we're gonna get this $5,000 next year and all this stuff? I think it's BS and just smoke blown. But
Well, a lot of it is smoke blowing because Doge is not in a real government agency. Elon Musk is on paper just an advisor of Trump, and all of their proof, right, of wasteful government expenditure just comes from other public websites that you or I could go to look at what our government is spending. Not to mention that Donald Trump is still worse for the debt. His policy costs trillions and trillions and trillions more than what Kamala Harris's would have.
I mean, I'd look into that and like look at it. I'm the type of guy that if something's going to be said, I'm going to look into it. And, you know,
You know, Forrest, I thought that you were really insufferable when you first came up on the live. But honestly, after talking to you a little bit, I think there might be some hope for you. So I appreciate you for your time.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. That was weird, man. I've never seen somebody go from like so defensive and like and insufferable to like kind of like, you know, I might see him doing something good in the future so fast. That was a very quick 180. Hello, Tanner. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Tanner. Why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate of your lifetime?
Well, first of all, I don't really see him as a worst candidate. I voted for him because of his past. Oh God, I'm sorry. It's a little hard to talk, but because I'm a little nervous.
Hey, man, if you're too nervous to be on the live, all's good, and I could drop you. And I don't mean that in
Oh, no,
any
it's
way.
good.
Like I'm just being like serious because I remember going up on lives with like without experience and being like really nervous too. So I get it.
Yeah, well, I voted for him because of his last term. I really like what he did and how much money he saved for us, and
how much money he saved for us in his last term.
Well,
brother.
Prices were so much more cheaper though. Like,
Brother.
and even if, like,
Brother.
I've seen people.
Brother, he
What?
spent $8.6 trillion during his last administration. Biden and Harris spent 4.6. Ignore COVID.
That-
He spent 4.8. Ignore COVID. Biden spent 2.2.
Okay, don't you think that the money that he spent, like, I mean, I would kind of say that it's pretty good though.
No.
Because he spent that. No, he spent that on his border that he's building.
In the wall, he spent about $30 billion. And also, if he spent like $8.6 trillion on the border, man, wow, that would have been worse. So, Tanner,
Okay, so I'm looking at some of the comments right now. People like, well, and I've also seen this all over TikTok too. People have said that Trump inherited the border off of his,
What?
or no, off of Obama's policies and stuff like that. But
no, they're talking
Well,
about the
Trump-
economy.
what?
They're talking about the economy. That
I
Trump
know.
rode the coattails on Obama's economy.
Well, yeah, that's what people are pretty much saying.
And it's true.
So, well, I mean, even if he did, I think he held on pretty well. I mean,
He
we had
didn't-
cheaper prices until COVID hit, but
Yeah, he didn't
I'm not
fuck
gonna
it
blame
up too
COVID.
bad.
I'm not going to blame COVID on either president, like either Biden or Trump. I mean, I think COVID would have happened either way.
So, okay, your first claim why you support Trump was he was pretty good for spending during his first term. Hopefully, we've been able to dispute that. Do you have any other arguments here?
Well, gases were cheaper.
Wait,
Like
wait,
I
wait,
think
wait.
my main focus.
Oh no! How did Biden and Harris make gas more? Did we just get banned?
Now.
What just happened? The whole stream just froze. I thought that I got banned. So, how did Biden and Harris make gas more expensive?
Well, just based off their policies and stuff.
Like what if you
But-
don't know them, wait. What policies? Because if you don't know the policies, just be honest.
I can't really think of the policies at the moment because I don't have my
Because they
computer
didn't pass
with
any.
me.
They didn't pass any policy that made gas more expensive. Okay. If anything, their policy made gas less expensive because they were the best
Or
administration
maybe-
our country's ever had for domestic oil production. Literally the best. Okay. We've never produced more oil as a country than we did under Biden and Harris, and that was directly because the Biden Harris administration had approved 50% more drilling permits on federal land compared to Trump and his admin. Literally the best
Okay,
ever.
so
The reason
then-
why gas was still so high was because of a decline in global oil production caused by the pandemic, supply chain issues relating to such, and we sanctioned Russian oil because they invaded another country.
So then, why did Biden ban the offshore drilling off of the Gulf of Mexico?
Yo, Jaden, thank you for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Say my boys' lives are going to drop the 5. Hey, that rhymed. I appreciate you for the love, Jaden. I don't know. I'm unlikely to believe that he did, given such a high level of production. We'll just assume that he did. I find no issue, right? Merely because he was still able to produce the most oil that we've ever had produced as a country. I find no issue with it. Maybe there's just better ways to produce it in other places. And we know that obviously more production was done in other places because we produced the most we ever have as a country.
Yeah. Well, because that's what I've seen. I've seen that Biden and Harris they banned the offshore drilling, and then that's like the main reason why. That's the main reason why Trump changed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America because, just thinking about it, it kind of makes sense why he would do that.
I don't think it makes any sense at all.
Because no, like Biden, he banned the offshore drilling.
But why was that a
off of
bad
Gulf
thing
of
for
Mexico,
Biden
but
to
if he
do if he
changed
was
the
still
name
producing more oil
to
than
Gulf
ever?
of Mexico? What?
Why was it a bad thing to do if he was still producing more oil than ever? Like think about it, man.
Okay,
The reason
let me
why
think
banning
about-
offshore drilling would be bad for gas prices was because we'd reduce the available supply of domestic oil. But we didn't see an overall reduction in domestic supply of oil. We saw an increase in domestic supply of oil.
Okay, so can I finish up?
You're about to tell me how Donald Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico was good for like offshore drilling. Sorry, man. I'm not gonna let you make that argument. Sid, thank you so
Okay,
much for the Lily, the
finish up
Leon. I
because
really
you keep
appreciate you for the
interrupting
love,
me.
Sid.
I'm
Everybody,
trying
please
to-
show some love to Sid in that chat.
I'm trying to have like a nice conversation to get your viewpoints and then let me tell you my viewpoints, but you keep on interrupting me.
Oh, boo.
I'm not kind of really, and I'm not really liking it.
Sorry, man.
Okay, so can I finish up without you interrupting me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the reason why I think that Trump renamed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, so that because of the, like I said before, the ban that Biden and Harris did, with him changing the name to Gulf of America, he can make that as a executive order to keep the production going. Like just think about it a little bit.
Yo, Dean, can you hear me?
I don't know where he went. He must have. The last guest just logged off.
Bollocks! I didn't mean to join.
No worries, Benjamin.
Sorry.
Tanner, feel free to just hop. I don't know where Tanner went. Yo. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. Yo, bro, I just gotta say, bro, I love.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Huge shout out to the guests, y'all. Huge shout out to the guests. I appreciate you for coming up here and showing some love. And I do apologize for cutting off midway through, and I hope that you don't take that personally. We are just looking for debates, so hopefully my chat can show you some love, right? But yo, holy crap. Yo, Yaman, thank you so much for the $5 over YouTube Super Chat, saying much love, need to work towards the Daily Wire to the left. That is the end goal. What is up, the handyman? You vote for Trump.
Yes, but I didn't mean to come on live, though. I'm actually driving.
No worries. I was gonna say, well, you're already here. We've trapped you, but if you're driving, gotta kick you. Gotta respect the rules. Moving on. Here we go. By the way, if you're watching the stream and you want to support the stream, okay, keep this going. You can support over PayPal, which is in the link tree in my bio. You want 100% of the proceeds on there. Be able to read your name off and message. I get a notification. As well as if you don't have PayPal and you want to support, aka like Venmo. I got banned on Venmo, so the only way for you to support now is over Super Chat on YouTube, and I'm actually live on YouTube as we speak with my 4K camera. It's pretty sweet, and you can find that through the bio as well. What is up, your king? Did you vote for Trump?
You are my goat. You are the king, Dean. I love you.
Appreciate you for the love, bro. All right, next guest is loading up. Just looking for Trump supporters. Y'all already know. Shirley with a $30 donation over on PayPal. Holy crap. Let's get at least 300 big W Shirley's based Shirley. Shirley says Biden ban offshore drilling to transition towards clean energy. Offshore drilling harms critical ecosystems. You had to assume, right? Like reefs and whatnot. Yeah.
Offshore drilling harms critical ecosystems.
Very, very valid point. Very valid point. And I appreciate you for the 30 as well as the information. Huge shout out to Shirley. Holy crap. Thank you. What's up, Owen? You vote for Trump?
Well, I can't vote, but I would like to.
Bye. Moving on to that next guest. Here we go. Yo, Francesco with the £3 over YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate that. What's up, just Logan? You vote for Trump? Okay, Logan was very laggy there, so we didn't even hear what he said. It kind of sounded like he said a slur, but his MAGA mobile was just so bad that it couldn't make out. Skyla, thank you for the $5. Seeing it was Dean. It was a 400 for that one. That was what is the currency? I forget what it's called. That was 400 rupees, which is equivalent to about $5 USD. I really do appreciate you for the 400 rupees once again. Thank you so much for the love. We're gonna go to get Josh up in here. Everybody, do just give us a minute. Yo, Miska, thank you so much for the £5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Guys, by the way, we have won. We have literally won. No Trump supporters are willing to come up here and debate us. Josh, you vote for Trump? Get out of here. Okay, guys, we have won. We have literally won. There's not a single Trump supporter that is ready and willing to come up here, right, and debate me about why they voted for Trump. Collectively, okay, we have 9,000 people watching the stream all in all, and there's not one person that is ready and willing to come up here, okay? MAGA is terrified of me. We have won. What is up? Did you vote for Trump? No, dude, because they're not even here. They're AFK. Man, look at this. Somebody in the chat says, you didn't win shit. Being all snarky and shit. Okay. All right. Sassy man, whatnot. I invited them up. Of course, they won't join. SSP, you vote for Trump?
Hey, how you feeling, man? I saw that you were a little kind of scared there. Got a little scare the other day. How's your chest? Did you have any problems with any health issues?
Yeah, I ended up going to urgent care. They told me that I possibly had a heart attack, or that's at least what the EKG said. Posterior infarct. But then I went to the ER. I got some blood drawn. They told me I was all clear, but I should definitely still try to, look out for my health. And they recommended me to a cardiologist. But all is good. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. I happened to, I watch you a little bit, and I listen to a lot of your, feedback and back and forth. And I'd like to start a little bit about the war that's going on, since that's really kind of a hot topic, in Russia. If you look back. The war started back, when Gorbachev, when he and Reagan stopped, the end of the Cold War in like 1990, obviously probably before you were born, they guaranteed that NATO, they signed something, I think it was Bill Clinton in like 1994, to make sure that NATO wouldn't encroach. And that's when, Crimea, the other war started, because Russia felt there was encroachment going on. That's kind of a start.
Wrong, man.
No?
So
explain it.
You're talking about an agreement between NATO and Russia that NATO wouldn't expand to the east, right?
Right.
Right. So that was not a contractual agreement made by president. That was actually just a verbal agreement made. And let me ask you, why couldn't NATO expand to the east? What was to the east of NATO at that point? What was to the east of Germany in the 90s?
Well, wasn't that where without
was the USSR? They literally couldn't expand east, or else they'd be overtaking the USSR. Okay. The Soviet Union dissolves, then they have the ability to expand east, and they did, by the way. Crimea, sorry, not Crimea. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, all new NATO countries expanding towards the east. Russia didn't care.
Okay.
So now that we understand the historical context behind that agreement,
now,
see how it doesn't really matter.
Do you feel that Ukraine will not be allowed into NATO?
I don't know. I'm not a foreign policy expert.
Okay, but that's a lot to do with this war. That's where this war really lies on.
Okay, so why did you vote for Trump?
The reason I voted for Trump is I live in northern Michigan. I'm in a blue state.
Casey, thank you for the galaxy.
Okay, I'm in a blue state that got absolutely mandated to death by the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Okay, Whitmer, and again,
Wait,
it's
so
policy.
so
It's
what was the
policies.
difference between the Trump administration and the Kamala Harris administration that made Trump's admin better?
Well, to be honest, it's the better of the two evils.
And why? Why was Trump better than Kamala
I
Harris?
just-
Just
if
saying
you
that you
look
got
at the
mandated by
people-
Democrats in your state doesn't speak for Kamala Harris or Trump. So tell me why Trump specifically was better than Kamala
Okay,
Harris specifically.
the people that he's going to surround, and which he is surrounding himself with,
Like whom?
the people that he's actually surrounding
Give me a
himself
little
with.
more, man.
If
Give me
you
a little
look at-
more.
Okay, from the attorney general to the
AG, his first pick for AG was a child rapist.
well, that was kind of like testing the waters before Bondi got in there.
Jesus
You're talking about Matt Gaetz, right? You're talking about Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Matt Gaetz fan, but that's who he chose. So look at some of Biden's choices. They weren't great, but he didn't fire anybody. If any of these guys step out of line, he'll fire them.
But wait, no. If they step out of his line, okay, I want to make that part clear. If they step out of
Okay,
his line, but then also,
okay.
so like you're just pointing out that like both presidents had some picks that were not that great. I'd objectively say that Donald Trump's picks were fucking worse. Like, dude, the leader of the DoD now, I forget his name and I forget what his actual position is. He had no commanding leadership rank in the military ever, and he's an
Cash?
ex-Fox
Are you talking
News
Cash
host.
Patel?
No, that's
Are you
FBI.
talking- Okay.
And like, so, and seemingly you could recognize that his picks aren't that great. So then, like, why were his picks the determining factor that made Trump better than Harris when you recognize that his picks really weren't that good?
Well, I mean, you see Harris. She really is not. I mean, they didn't even have a primary. She wouldn't have made it out of the primaries. You know that. I mean, there was
actually,
a lot
no, I
of
dispute
other-
that. I think that she would have won the primaries.
Well, I think if she would have had if they would have went with Shapiro instead of Walz, they had a better chance.
I'd actually argue that they arguably had a worse chance because of his more extreme support for Israel. But that aside,
Well, okay.
you're
Now,
still not
I'm
telling me.
arguing-
You're still not telling me what made Trump better than Harris. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm starting to get frustrated and flustered.
Okay, don't want
just
to get you
talking
upset. Listen, I don't want to get you upset, man.
Just talking about, right, like who you, like the people, like hypothetically, if she ran in a primary, she wouldn't have got voted in. Like, that doesn't tell me why she's a bad candidate. Why was she a bad candidate?
She really never accomplished anything.
She had no accomplishments. Okay.
No, she was appointed into all of her positions.
Okay, pointed into all of her positions. So you just think that she was underqualified, right?
There were better candidates, yes.
Was she underqualified,
absolutely.
and that's why she was the worst candidate?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So if Kamala
I
Harris is
personally think so.
underqualified, what the fuck does that tell me about Donald Trump? Because she mogged Donald Trump in every conceivable way possible. Domestic policy, foreign policy, character, across the board, absolutely cleared him 110% of the time. Economic policy. His shit was built for rich people. Hurts you the less money you make because of his tariffs. He has economic literacy. He does not know what the fuck he's doing. He just wants to serve to rich people. She actually had tax cuts for the average American and members of the low and the middle class. Not to mention that she had economic policy that he just fucking forgot about, like housing affordability policy. Where was Trump's housing affordability policy? He didn't fucking have one. The only person in the race that did was Kamala Harris. What about healthcare policy? We understand that she didn't have a whole new plan, but she did want to cap the amount that any American citizen could pay out of pocket to $2,000 per year for private pharmaceutical drugs. What did Trump had? Fucking concepts, okay? Mogged him on domestic policy. What about relations with other foreign world leaders? This dude is just slanging his shit belligerently, seeing where it lands and where it doesn't land, lying about phone calls with the president of Mexico, signing an executive order into law to tariff both Mexico and Canada, then backing down the very next day because his constituents gave him pushback and
CPAC was
Mexico and
just
Canada
going on-
didn't give him shit. Then no leader in the EU respects him. And they're
before
currently
I-
having to
before I-
consider, right, like military-esque plans, right, to go to war with America if it is the case that America invades Greenland, like Trump said that they might. And that's policy, character. How could the rapist be more qualified than the adjudicator? Okay, than the fucking prosecutor? How could the felon be more qualified than the lawyer? How could this guy that has sexualized little girls, boasted about grabbing women by the P word, called all black people lazy, perpetuated the birther myth of Barack Obama, be more qualified than the individual that has fought for the rights of her constituents since serving as DA of San Fran? It's crazy to me that you think there's a comparison here. Like, this either has to be misogyny, racism, or a conjunct of the two. Go for it.
Okay, look what they did with Monica Lewinsky. Look what Joe Biden did. That girl that got has a sexual assault against her never got her day in court. So I don't want to go back and forth with that stuff.
What did Joe Biden do?
He raped that one girl, Janet Lee or whatever. She just never got
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid.
Okay, so you just said he raped Tara Reid. So do you believe that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm going to expose you to be a cult member in 3 sentences. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
So you don't know if Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, even though 9 jurors with a unanimous verdict upheld the conclusion that he did, predicated on E. Jean Carroll's testimony and other surrounding evidence that has not changed for the last 23 years. Now, you shut the hell up. But you do. I told you to shut the hell up. But you do think with certainty that Joe Biden raped Tara Reid, even though Tara Reid brought her accusations to court, her own lawyer dropped her as a client because she had a contradicting story. Then after her own lawyer dropped her as a client, she dropped the charges. She left America and fled to Russia, enjoying an alt-right misinformation campaign. You're a cult member.
Okay,
if
let me
you
ask you
think
this.
that Tara Reid has more credibility than E. Jean Carroll, you're a cult member.
Do you believe that Brett Kavanaugh did what they accused him of?
I don't even know. Like I've heard the name. I don't know anything about the case. I want you to talk.
He's the Supreme Court.
I want you to talk
These are
about
accusations.
what I'm referencing to you to do with Joe Biden and Tara Reid and Trump and E. Jean Carroll. I'm not here to talk about Brett Kavanaugh. I don't know anything about Brett Kavanaugh or SA.
They're accusations. They're both accusations.
False.
Okay.
E. Jean Carroll didn't merely accuse Donald Trump of raping her. It was processed through a court and met with a unanimous jury of 9 agreeing with her claims, with him being then forced to pay her $87 million. So why the hell are you lying on my live? And why
I'm
the hell
not lying on your live.
Why the hell won't you respond to the fact? Why won't you respond to the fact that you think there's more credibility in Tara Reid, the individual?
I don't want to get you.
No,
Listen,
no,
no
you're
heart
interrupting
attack.
me. You're interrupting me. Are you seriously
Okay, I
using
won't.
that to play against me? You just, dude, you're such a
No,
piece of shit
no.
for that. That was so gross.
Come on, relax with that.
God, that's
what
so
are you getting
fu-
so
that's
excited
so
about?
gross. To go back to
Why
what
are
I
you
said.
getting excited about that? See, I'm trying to have a real conversation.
No,
I'm not
you're not
using
trying to have a
F-bombs.
you're not
I'm
trying to have
cussing.
a real conversation
You're
with me. You're
cussing.
actively
You're
interrupting
cussing.
me. I want you
You're
to stop
cussing.
interrupting me. And I will continue to cuss because cuss words are a part of my dialogue. If you don't like
okay.
that, then I'm surprised that you're so blindly okay with Donald Trump, who doesn't just use cuss words, but makes fun of disabled reporters and has a snarky little nickname for every political opponent he's ever had. Yeah, tell me that you care about obscenities in character. Shut the hell up. Going back to what I was saying, the fact that you find more credibility in Tara Reid compared to E. Jean Carroll, even though Tara Reid was dropped as a client by her lawyer, fled to Russia, joined a misinformation campaign, and had no evidence for her claims, but E. Jean Carroll held a consistent story for 23 years. Donald Trump lied twice, contradicting her evidence in court 2 times, and she'd convinced the anonymous jury of 9 that her claims were true. If you think Tara Reid has more credibility than E. Jean Carroll, you're part of a quote, point blank period. And you'll do anything but respond to that. You will not respond to the point that you find more credibility in
You
Tara
said don't
Reid compared to
interrupt
E. Jean
you.
Carroll.
You said
won't-
don't interrupt you.
You will not respond to that.
You
I know
said don't
will.
interrupt you.
Yeah, I don't want you to
told me
interrupt me.
don't interrupt you.
Very smart.
I mean,
Very
what do you
smart.
want me to do?
I want
Talk,
you. I want you to
don't
talk once
this,
I'm done
that?
speaking. Like right now. Go
Okay.
ahead and speak.
I'm waiting.
What are you
Can I
waiting
say
for?
something? Just for you to say I can talk.
You're waiting for my permission. You could talk. Good boy.
Ugh, you're killing me with that, man. You're just killing me with that. You always resort to these kind of antics when you're having a conversation.
Remember what I
Always.
said about how you wouldn't respond to my claims about you granting more credibility to Tara compared to E. Jean Carroll?
No, you
And I
asked
told
me
how you
why
wouldn't
I
respond to
voted
that?
for Trump. You asked me why I voted for Trump. And what has happened now is this is a change. This is the golden age.
Yeah, remember,
Just so-
chat. Remember how I said explicitly that he wouldn't respond to Tara Reid and E. Jean Carroll, and he's still not responding.
No, I'm not going to. Oh,
Why?
Not going to. Because I don't want to. I have the right not to, right?
So you don't want to respond to it for what reason?
Because I'd rather talk more on different points of why I elected Donald Trump.
I think it's
Part of the
important for us
70
to finish that point out.
Why I was one of the 77 million. You see his approval ratings, right? You see they're going.
I see a pivot.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
let's face the facts here, man. The reason you don't want to
Okay.
respond to that argument is because you can't. You know that I'm right.
Well, okay, let's
There's
talk
no
about tomorrow
defensible.
then.
No, one moment. There's no. You stop. There's no defensible position to suggest that Tara Reid had more credible claims than E. Jean Carroll, and you know that. Therefore, you just don't want to respond to it. Hey, man, if you don't want to respond to the heat I'm putting on you, you could leave the live. Nobody's stopping you. But if you're gonna stay on the live, then you will respond to the heat that I'm putting on you.
Listen, I just thought I'd have a conversation, man. That's all.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're not. You're not having a conversation.
Why?
And
Because
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
listening?
No, yeah, because you are literally explicitly, right, denying to respond to my arguments. You explicitly said that
Arguments.
you will
There
not
go.
respond
Not
because you don't
discussion,
want
arguments. Not discussions, arguments, right?
Yes,
And
I'm
then-
giving you an argument, right?
Right, right.
Counter position, a counter argument against what you believe in. Yes, that is what we do in
Okay.
debate lives.
Okay.
So go ahead and respond or leave. It's a true dichotomy. You could either respond
man.
or leave.
Listen, health, wealth, and prosperity. I gotta go.
Dean
I'm
took
checking
a
out.
W. Dean W, bro.
Go ahead, man. You get the W, Dean. You're all over it, bud.
Bet. Appreciate you for your approval. Dean W. Dean W, okay? Literally couldn't respond, so he left. Jennifer! Oh my God! With the $50 donation over on PayPal. Holy shit, Jennifer. Jennifer says, hi, Dean. Miss Jen from the UK here. Keep up the great work. You, Harry, Parker, and Chris have got this. UK stands with you. Let's educate those who support dictators. God save the USA. Jennifer, you are awesome. Everybody, please, let's get at least 200 big W Jennifers in those live chats. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for the love, Jennifer. Everybody show Jennifer some love. What is going on, Tom? Did you vote for Trump?
Sorry, I don't remember requesting.
No worries. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everybody do just give us a minute. Skylar with a $5 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, call him a good boy again, made him upset. Yo, so real, bro. I'm trying to be a little bit more chill, though. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the Galaxy Savannah. And then, yo, Don with a $20 donation over on PayPal. I didn't even see that. Thank you so much for the love, Don. Don says, keep up the great work. Thank you for the love. Everybody, W Dons and W Jennifers in the chat. If you're watching and you want to support me just like Don or Jennifer, get a message wrote off on live and get a shout out as well. You could support me through the PayPal and the link tree in my bio. I got banned on Venmo, so you can't support me over there anymore. But if you do want to support me, but you don't have PayPal, you could support me over on YouTube Super Chat. It's easier than either Venmo or PayPal, and you get to watch the same debate stream in 4K quality. You can find me on YouTube by just looking up Dean Withers or going to the YouTube link through my bio. What is that, Michelle? Did you vote for Trump?
No, I requested on accident, but I love you so.
No worries. Appreciate that, Michelle. Moving on to the next guest. Everybody, please make sure that you're in that queue. If you're in that queue, make sure you voted for Trump. If you're in that queue and you didn't vote for Trump, please leave the queue. Everybody, just check if you're in the queue real quick. Make sure that you leave if you're in there on accident. You didn't mean to join, etc. Just make this now your chance. But everybody, do just kind of give us a minute here to get our next guest. What is going on? I love my girlfriend. Did you vote for Trump? Love my girlfriend's not here. Lyric, did you vote for Trump?
Why'd you kidnap baby Jesus?
I did not steal baby Jesus. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, Tour, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Age, please.
23.
Okay. Yo, Vigilante, thank you for the $20 YouTube super chat. Thank you so much, Vigilante. Vigilante says, Snap, you're on fire today. Not sure what the pep and the step is lately, but I feel you have leveled up even further lately. Love the growth, even when you were fire before. I appreciate that, Vigilante. Yeah, I've been trying to invest time into getting better at how I hold these discussions. It's no longer about the knowledge I possess, but it's more about how I present it and the way that I engage in the debates, and that's something that I could always improve at. I appreciate you for the love, Vigilante. So, why'd you vote for Trump?
Because I really support his immigration policy.
You're artist, writer, pagan that voted for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you're trolling, right?
Yes, I am. I love you.
Oh, that's so cool. Everybody laughed. Daniel, thank you for the $5 on YouTube Super Chat saying, I can't believe how spineless these Trumpers are today. I know. These people just don't have a spine, bro. Literally don't have a... But bro, we're staying winning, okay? Let's get to the chase. We are staying winning, ladies and gentlemen. These Trump supporters are terrified. Julia, what's up? You vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Age, please.
I'm 18.
Okay, what year are you born in?
2006.
Phenomenal. So why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate of your life?
I voted for the worst president of my life because I think I did not like what was happening whenever I first started my job. And I'm seeing improvements.
Okay, I don't know what that means. What happened when you were first starting your job? When did you start your job? How does it relate to Trump? Let's let's go. Come on.
Listen, I work 2 jobs. I'm a full-time student, and from where I'm at, I see the government taking a lot of money out of my paycheck, and personally, the money thing is important to me.
Oh no! Wow. Yeah, yeah. The tax policy of the Biden-Harris regime, it was bad, right? They took a shit ton of your money, right?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like this. I only have so much time a day to listen to the news, but I like this idea of the money from Doge. So I guess I'll see. Like, I have this friend who's very liberal.
I just want you to answer my
and-
question though. The tax policy from the federal government in the last 4 years, it was way too bad, right?
Oh, here. Can I finish my thought real quick?
Nope. Because I asked you a question and then you answered it by talking about this new thought of yours.
Okay, re-ask the question then.
This tax policy of the Biden regime over the last 4 years, it was really bad, right?
I mean, personally, I think it is bad. I live in middle class. I see the tax prices spike and stuff, and I do see it.
Okay, I just want to clarify. So hypothetically, I just want to see if you're open-minded. This is nothing more than a hypothetical test. If Biden wasn't president, but Trump was president, and that was Trump's tax policy, would you still support Trump?
No.
Okay, well, it was Trump's tax policy.
Oh, okay. Well,
It was a Tax Cuts
I
and
would
Jobs Act
say-
that he signed into law in 2017 that expires next year.
well, if that's true, but I see the Doge money.
Don't
and
pivot.
From
Don't-
me,
you better stop pivoting.
okay, but
better
you pivot
fucking-
too all the
no,
time.
thi-
I watch you.
This is unfucking real. This is unfucking believable. This is insane. This is crazy. This is cult-like behaviors.
Okay, but tell me.
Let me
if
tell
you
you.
get the
Let
Doge money-
me tell you something real quick. So, you come up here, you tell me the tax policy of the Biden regime in the last 4 years was bad, and then I was like, hypothetically, to see if you're open-minded, if this was Trump's policy, would you still support Trump? And you're like, no. So then I inform you on the fact that it was Trump's tax policy under the TCJA, and let me guess, you still support Trump, right, Julia?
Hey, man, I am open-minded. Listen.
Do you still support Trump?
Okay, at the end of I'm a new voter.
Do
I
you
voted
still
for the first
support
time.
Trump?
I support Trump right now because I
Fucking
see what
hell,
he's
Julia.
doing right
so
now.
why did you just lie to me face to face, just fucking bold-faced lie to me when I asked you if that was Trump's tax policy, would you still support Trump? Why did you lie with your answer?
Would you support Trump if it was the opposite?
Shut up. Please answer my question. Why did you bold-face lie?
Listen, I'm trying to become more educated on it, but I'm trying to bring up more
why
points,
did
and
you
you're not
lie
letting
to
me.
me? Because I want to know why you lied first.
I lied because I wanted to. I mean, okay, you tell me I'm pivoting, but you're not even listening to any of my other points. Would you like to listen to another point of mine?
Yeah. And I'll listen to another point. She left. Fucking dude. Yeah. We're gonna gotta move on to the next guest. We got Mike loading up in. Yo! Oh my god, first of all, FBI, thank you for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. But Eric with an E with a $100 YouTube super chat. Holy fuck, Eric. Eric says, keep up the important work, Dean. The Zoomers need somebody like you, as made evident by people like this dingus. They were fucking donut. Holy cow, Eric. Thank you so much for the love, and I really appreciate it. Everybody, show some love to Eric. That is so fucking kind of you, dude. Holy hell, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love. Huge shout out, Eric. Monumental W, Eric's. All in the chat. $100 is crazy. That's going to go so far. Thank you so much for the love. We are eating good tonight. I think I actually literally might try to cook another sirloin, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Eric. As well as both K Cabbage and I Don't Even Know with the $5 donations over on YouTube Super Chat as well. What is up, Trevor? D. Markey, thank you for the feathered. And Mandy with the hand hearts. What's up, Trevor? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, what's up, man?
You did. All right, Penguin, thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars on YouTube Super Chat. So, Trevor, why did you vote for Trump?
Because in 2016, I was fucking dumb as hell.
Oh, did you vote for Trump in 2024?
Hell no.
Based. Everybody show some love to, I guess, for being based. Okay. We're going to get the next guest up in here. Okay. We got that next guest loading in, you guys. If you want to support me, once again, the only way to support me right now is either through PayPal or YouTube Super Chat. The PayPal is in the link tree in the bio, though. I'm also going to pin it in a message over on YouTube, because I think I get more of the proceeds over PayPal compared to YouTube Super Chat. Mike, what's going on, man? Did you vote for Trump? Mikey Poo! No, Mike's not even here. Whatever. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we've won. We fucking won. We have won, men. We have won because no Trump supporter wants to debate me. Someone in the chat just asked why I'm so rude. I'm honestly not rude, okay? I want to make that one clear. I just put the pedal to the metal when need be, okay? And that last guest required it because they literally lied to us, and then they admitted to it, and then they left. Leslie, you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Leslie, how old are you?
18. It was my first time.
Yeah, what year are you born in, out of curiosity?
2006.
Okay, all right.
No, okay, but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, real quick. Shahana, you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2005.
Okay, I don't believe Shahana. I believe Leslie, but not Shahana. So, Leslie, why did you vote for Trump?
I actually was influenced a lot by my dad. He's a very big Trump supporter. And so I haven't, I've been a little more educated on it, but I just have a little more, I guess not, it's more of a question than an argument, but my dad's argument is always, he's won all but one or something. All of his cases, that he's more qualified than Kamala because Kamala doesn't make any sense in the debates.
Have you watched the presidential debate?
A little bit of them.
How about you watch it? If
Uh-huh.
if you know, she'll make sense to you if you're intelligent,
Uh-huh.
and then you'll disagree with your dad. Man, let me tell you a story. In high school, at certain points, I took accelerated math classes, but I was too focused on other things, and I didn't really focus on my homework. Okay,
Mhm.
so I was in like Calc 2 or 3 in high school, and I wasn't focusing on the class or the homework whatsoever, because I was able to get by just studying for the test the night before. But what this meant was during a lot of the classes, I'd be listening to this guy talk about calculus, and I didn't fucking understand a single thing he was saying.
Yeah.
But was that because of my fault? Because I wasn't paying attention and I didn't meet the sufficient prerequisites for listening to the teacher? Or was that their fault for being
Yeah.
a bad professor? I think it was at like a local college or something.
So would in this case, would I be the uneducated one, or would Trump be the one not making sense?
Your dad would be the
Oh.
uneducated one if he thought that Kamala Harris didn't make sense in the debates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But unless you have an argument, I'm just going to move on to the next guest. But if you want to give me an argument why you think Trump is better, feel free to.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But thank you.
No worries. I appreciate you so much for coming up and asking that question. We're going to move on to the next guest. Abby, thank you so much for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. Abby says, always so excited when I catch the stream live. Thank you for doing what you do, Dean. Nothing better than thank watching MAGAs be humbled. Yeah, it is pretty fun, huh? It is pretty fun. I like humbling them. It's my favorite thing ever. Thomas, thank you for the $10 donation over on PayPal. You are awesome, Thomas. Thank you so much for the love. Everybody, show some love to Abby and Thomas. Thomas says, Tom B on TikTok, you're a king. Thanks for this live. Being assertive is not rude. That's right, Thomas. I appreciate you for the love. W's for Tom B. Hello, the sugar. You vote for Trump? Okay, we've won. Dean W, we've won. I say that because there's 9.6 thousand people watching live on TikTok and YouTube combined, and not one person, not one Trump supporter that wants to debate me. We've won. We've won. Okay. Where are our Trump supporters at that want to come up here? So scared, so scared. Best rage bait ever. It always gets a Trump supporter out of the weeds. Never going to stop doing that. Never going to stop doing it. Best rage bait ever. Hello, you vote for Trump?
Hey.
Hi.
Yes, I did.
Okay, why did you vote for the worst presidential candidate of your life?
Well, so honestly, I live in Arizona, so I'm over there on the border, and I honestly just thought
that, well, I was also raised in a very diverse area, and a lot of the opinions I've gotten just from being a kid and hearing other people's perspectives on things is that I was more scared of, drugs that are being peddled from the border.
So I didn't think that claim, DRUGS, like just saying that DRUGS are going across the border, was like strict enough to get the live a restriction because TikTok hates DRUG talk, but it is. True, tried and tested. I'm sorry, man. You were trying to bring up a point that, could have made an argument, although I don't think it was a good argument, but, point aside, you could have made an argument there. Sorry for kicking you. The reason why I kicked you is just TikTok does not like DRUG talk. TikTok hates it. But if you're curious, Donald Trump will do nothing for the DRUGs coming across our southern border. 85% of those DRUGs are coming across the border by citizens that are trafficking them. Donald Trump has never advocated for the implementation of border policy to restrict citizens. Christian, what's up? You vote for Trump?
I was neutral this year. I didn't vote for either party.
Okay, well, I appreciate you for coming up. Just looking to debate a Trump supporter. Clement, please hop in that queue. Yo, PJ, thank you for the $10 or the 100 Swedish dollars. Saying Swedish Saturday nights. I always wind up watching your stream. Gives me hope. Gives me fucking joy. Hell yeah, appreciate you for that love. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next guest. We got Gary Port loading up in. Haley, thank you for the $2. And Danielle with a 5. You guys are quite frankly phenomenal. No Trump supporters. Everybody is scared to debate. Quite frankly. This guy said go Trump in the comment section. Okay, are you riding with
Yes,
Trump?
sir. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Do you think that Trump is my daddy?
Yeah, actually.
Does that mean that he's your... Wait. No. Does that mean that he's your daddy too?
I'm Canadian, so I don't know. Does it?
Fucking hell, dude. If you were in the U.S., that would have been a slam dunk. Okay, that would have been a slam dunk argument. Fuck you. Oh, no. That was like the one valid response, right, to logically entail a conclusion other than Trump is your daddy, too. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Hi, I just want to say that I'm from Europe, but
I'm so sorry. We're just looking for debates. Guys, please! Please, man! Only request if you voted for Trump. This shit sucks, dude. Y'all Trump supporters are terrified. Absolutely so scared. Absolutely so scared. Hello, Megan. You just said go Trump in the comment section. Did you vote for Trump?
I sure did.
Megan, welcome to the live. It is great to have you here with us today. Welcome in, truly, quite frankly. So my question to you is, why did you vote for Trump, the worst presidential candidate of your lifetime, Megan?
I don't think that he's the worst candidate of my lifetime. 100% don't think that.
So why do you think he was a better candidate than Harris?
Well, Harris is full of word salad, and she cannot even campaign.
Can't campaign. Okay, so
She
the argument
didn't.
is that Trump is better than Harris because Trump won the election, meaning he has a better campaign, which would entail she has a worse campaign, which entails she's the worst candidate, right?
I mean, in my eyes, yes.
Bazinga. Question: who is a better pick for the presidency in 2020?
Why does that matter?
I'll show you. So who was it?
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I want an answer. Trump or Biden?
Trump was the better candidate, and Biden shouldn't have ever been in there. And here's the other thing.
Before you start going on the tangents, let me finish my thought there. It's a multiple step thought. Just give me a minute, Megan. Okay. So you said that Trump was the better candidate in 2020. I have a question. Who won?
Yeah, but it was
Biden, which would entail who had a better campaign. Biden, which would entail who had a worse campaign. Trump, and under your own logic, what does that mean? That means that Trump was the worst candidate in 2020.
Nope.
Then Kamala Harris wasn't the worst candidate in 2024. Come on.
No.
Well, now we have a logical contradiction on our hands. What the fuck are we
We
gonna
do. We have a logical contradiction on our hands. 100%.
At least you admit it. What are we going to do about it?
You're going to admit that Trump is actually doing something for the United States.
God damn it. No, you're the one with the contradiction on your hands, not me. I'm the one that pointed it out.
how is literally everything that he's doing for you as a like person of the United States, like how is that a contradiction?
Okay, I'll just be clear about what the contradiction was, then we can move on. The contradiction was you told me that Trump was a better candidate than Harris because Harris ran a worse campaign. Your evidence that she ran a worse campaign was that she lost the election. Emma, thank you for the motorcycle. Similarly, you said that Trump was a better candidate in 2020, even though Biden won the election, which means Trump lost the election, which should, with your own logic, can tell that he ran a worse campaign. And because he ran a worse campaign under your own worldview, that would mean he's a worse candidate. So the contradiction is finding Trump to be the better candidate in 2024 because he won, while simultaneously finding Trump to be the better candidate in 2020, regardless of the fact that he didn't win.
Okay.
And that's the contradiction. Clear as day.
Can you tell me what he is doing in the wrong?
Wow. Okay. How about this?
I would love you to tell me what he is doing in the wrong.
How long of a response do you want? 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 seconds?
However long you want it to be, my love.
Give me some boundaries here. How long do you want it?
Give me 60 seconds of a response.
Fucking hell, that's a lot of real estate. Let's go ahead and start off with the fact. One thing he's doing wrong is his economic policy. The House Republicans submitted his, second go around of the TCJA to Congress. 80% of the cuts in the bill go to top 0.1% of earners, not to mention that it costs an exorbitant amount of money, $4.5 trillion, in which he has no plan to pay off. Not to mention the fact that we know that won't trickle down to the average American. It didn't work with the first time around, so why would it work for the second time around? One may ask, what's my evidence that the TCJA didn't trickle down to the average consumer the first time around? A study from fucking Brookings. Not to mention the fact that when we'd consider his other economic policies, such as the blanket tariffs, nobody with an annual income under $395,000 per year will be better off. All right, purchasing power wise under Trump's admin because of his tariffs. They regressively impact you the worse, the less money you make. So now that we've got his economic policy aside, let's go ahead and talk about some of his other policy relating to abortion. So I find it to be a human rights violation to infringe upon somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason. I find no good reason to infringe upon a woman's access to elective lethal abortions before 20 weeks, meaning that's a human rights violation. Because Donald Trump told the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, and they did, that makes him directly responsible for 77 million human rights violations, because 1 out of every 3 women of reproductive age in our country no longer have access to elective lethal abortions. Not to also point out the fact that there's 60 great victims that are denied access to abortion per day. To stay on topic with human rights violations, let's also mention the fact that he explicitly wants to occupy, own, ethnically cleanse, and destroy the Gaza Strip. Emma, thank you so much for the dinosaur. Specifically calling for the expulsion and ethnic cleansing of 1.4 million Palestinians, which is just 1.4 million more human rights violations. We could also mention the fact that he's a rapist. That's bad. He's a 34-count felon. That's bad. He called all black people lazy in the 90s. That's bad. In 2015, he said that we should have a total and complete shutdown of all new Muslims coming into America, which is mass religious persecution, which is bad. He said that Obama was born in Kenya without any evidence, even though he has a birth certificate from Hawaii. That's bad. I'm pretty sure we're at 2 minutes now, so I'm going to shut the hell up, but I could keep going all day.
That's wonderful. I love that for you. I honestly, it makes me sad that is where you are drawing the line in the aspect of being an American citizen and seeing what is being done for you.
It makes you sad that I draw the line at like close to 80 million human rights violations. Okay, well, how about this? What is Trump doing good for me?
First of all, he is literally eradicating so much of the fraud that is happening in the government.
Like what?
Have you seen nothing?
I've actually quite well researched on the Daily News.
Have you seen nothing about what Doge is doing?
No, I've seen a lot about what Doge is doing. I'm just curious on what the fraud is.
First, I'm going to point out first is about the people that are on Social Security, okay? There are people that are still literally receiving checks that are over 200 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The last I checked, I think the oldest person that ever lived was like 115.
Yeah. So you're actually just repeating a false narrative. You know that, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. So actually, the director of Social Security denied his claims and refuses that deceased people over the age of 100 years old are getting checks. This is being reported on by every mainstream media sources. Not to mention that the documentation of Social Security are not public, so it's not possible to independently verify Musk's claims. So we don't have any evidence for Musk's claims, but they've routinely rejected these. And the Social Security Administration automatically stops payments to people that are older than 115 years old, an agency rule that has been in effect since 2015, before Trump's admin. That was under Obama. And yeah. So, I mean, I don't see any evidence for his claims, and Social Security denies it. So do you just believe in things without evidence, just miracle conspiracy theory because you want it to be true, so then you could say that Donald Trump is weeding the fraud out of our government?
It's not an untrue thing.
Oh, what's your evidence for it being true then? Because remember, Social Security records are not public, so you don't have evidence. And if the chief director of Social Security is denying the claims, I'd say that we should just remain agnostic on it, right?
I mean, I guess, sure. Like, here's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter what I say within this argument. You're still going to prove your argument to be only the correct one.
Well, very true, because I try to only believe in the correct opinions, right? So, setting that aside, just out of curiosity, do you believe that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that?
Do you believe that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
Do I believe what?
That Trump raped E. Jean Carroll? You don't know anything about that. Okay, wow.
No, I'm not even hearing what you're saying.
Do you believe that Donald Trump raped, just take the G off, do you believe that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
No.
Okay. So you don't believe E. Jean Carroll's claims, even though she had enough evidence to convince a jury of 9, but yet you believe Trump and Elon's claims about old people being on Social Security without any evidence. Why?
What do you mean without any evidence? There's so much evidence that they've already placed in. What?
There's no evidence. No, give it to me. Because once again, Social Security documentation is not public. It's not possible to verify their claims.
Everything is still on paper, first of all.
Yeah, but it is on paper, but it is not public.
Everything is on paper with Social Security, literally in like a freaking. None of your claims when it comes to whether it's grape, or whether it's what he was supposedly convicted of, and his convictions disappeared. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean supposedly? Dude, I could show you the jury verdict form where he's held liable for grape.
No, I'm talking about all of the felonies.
The felonies? No, he wasn't. So, okay, I could also show you the jury conviction form for the 34 counts of business falsification. Yeah. Yo, Class and Henrik, thank you both for the $5 and $10 over on PayPal. Appreciate that.
I honestly think
no, camera went
it's going to be a lost conversation. I do.
You believe it's a lost conversation because I'm holding you to providing me evidence for what you say, and you can't provide me evidence for what you say. Like, listen, here's all that I'm asking you is to provide me a cogent rebuttal with the use of fact and reason. And I'm yelling because I've got to go fix my camera for YouTube. And it's just simply something that you cannot do.
Can you tell me? Okay, here's a fun thing that we can discuss, I guess. Tell me who's doing better when it comes to the border.
Oh, yeah, Kamala Harris, 110%. Kamala Harris was the better picked when it comes to the southern border. She had long-term border solutions. She wanted to influence the same bill that she attempted to influence under the Biden-Harris administration, the bipartisan border bill. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has no long-term border solutions, and he runs his campaign on hate and prejudice and does nothing good for the long term. Yeah.
Really?
Name one hard question. Name one long-term border policy that Donald Trump intends to influence to get passed through Congress to fix the issues with the southern border. You can't, right? Neither can I. I could tell you one about Kamala Harris. She wanted to expedite the legal processes of migration by allotting more funding to courts on the southern border to take more legal claims, to process them faster, to naturally disincentivize undocumented entry into the country, while also giving the president special authority to shut the border down whenever, while implementing an emergency shutdown at a rolling weekly average of 5,000 crossings. Okay? But you don't have shit for Trump, so that's why Kamala Harris was better. Yeah.
Really, because his control over the border has already stopped thousands of people crossing illegally.
You're right. You're right. We're at like 200 crossings per day, 200 encounters per day. Very, very, very low. But that's not because of a long-term solution. That's because of a Band-Aid on a 4-inch cut on your arm, okay? That's literally because Donald Trump has deployed the military to the southern border to keep people out. Yeah, all that does is it gets people, why wouldn't you do that? Because it's not a long-term border solution. It does fucking nothing. It's wasteful taxpayer spending, and it's not preventing any greater level of harm being caused to America.
I would rather pay for that.
Wait, why? Wait, what does that do? Tell me one way that undocumented migrants in America that have not committed violent crimes hurt or harm you, me, or any other American, or America as a whole.
So I live in Minnesota.
Yeah, definitely a southern border state, by the way, yeah.
I live in a part of Minnesota that is very, very, very populated by immigrant, population, okay?
By immigrant.
Just it is what it is. It doesn't. You can say whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, as a single mom, okay, I was married for 20 years, got divorced, right? As a single mom, it is so much harder for me to go to my state and say I need help than it is for an immigrant to go to the state and say I need A, B, and C, and they literally just give it to them. They give it. They don't even question it. They're an immigrant. They're this, they're that, they just give it to them. I have to provide so much. And I'm not saying that I shouldn't provide it, because I should, 100%. I should provide what I do for a living, why I am in need of help, everything like that. I should provide all of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so for
But for me to be accepted into a program is far less than any immigrant.
Are you talking about undocumented migrants?
Both.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're just telling a lie. Yeah, you could possibly qualify for food stamps. Undocumented migrants can't. You could possibly qualify for state-funded healthcare. Undocumented migrants can't. You could possibly qualify for unemployment. Undocumented migrants can't. You could possibly qualify for all state and federally funded benefits in the area in Minnesota, but undocumented migrants can't. The only benefit that undocumented migrants qualify for because of, human fucking rights is the ability to get emergency services at any hospital within that being bumped back onto federal expenditure for Medicaid, okay? But what you were talking about is not undocumented migrants, but rather asylum seekers, right? Who qualify for some state benefits for the first 6 to 12 months of their residency in America, because our country has decided to make it take a significantly long time to give them ITINs to go to work. The reason they get those benefits and you don't is because they can't fucking work until they have an ITIN. So how about instead of getting mad at the asylum seekers who are here because of poor conditions in their home country that was literally proven by a court on the border, right? For not having an ITIN, therefore they can't work, therefore the state has an obligation to provide said benefits, but you just rather advocate for reform in our immigration policy to expedite the amount of time that it takes to give an ITIN to an asylum seeker to ensure that we are able, right, to successfully manage productive providers to our economy while also providing for humanitarian needs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, you were really upset, right, about the lack of social services for single mothers and low-income Americans, right?
Of course I am.
So name one social service for single mothers or low-income Americans that Donald Trump has advocated for since 2015.
Literally so much more.
So name one.
I don't have anything in front of me.
Because they don't exist. Go on Google. Try to find one. Open your laptop. Get on your iPad. Do it all. You can't find one. Take your time. Well, wait. I'm being dead serious. Literally fucking Google it. Go on Wikipedia. Go on Agenda 47. Right? Go on Trump's WhiteHouse.gov. Control F poverty. Control F social security. You won't be able to find it. I could hear you typing, so you're actually going to try to do it. Based.
I'm just reading.
Continue to read. Seriously. Take your time. We're sitting and waiting. I mean it. In the meantime, guys, make sure we're double tapping on that phone screen. If you want to support, link to my PayPal's in the bio. I get 100% of the proceeds on that platform. All of them. They go directly to me. They benefit and keep the stream alive. So I don't gotta, get another job and, relegate some of my focus towards that. So I appreciate you guys. If you don't have PayPal and you want to support, you can still support over on YouTube Super Chat. Are you ready to admit that he had advocated for no social services for low-income Americans or single mothers? The one thing that you might be able to find is the proposed increases in the child tax credit from J.D. Vance in this election cycle that Kamala Harris absolutely stomped on and mogged and doubled. So, Sid, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love. Everybody show some love to Sid for the $20 saying, hey, hope you're feeling better today. I actually am, Sid. I really appreciate you so much for your kindness and for looking out for me. I do feel better. Yeah, thank you. Vanessa, thank you for the $2 over on PayPal.
I do love that you're getting support. I want you to know that. It doesn't matter if we have a difference of opinion. I do love that you have such an incredible support system.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
I do. I love it. And like, it's wonderful.
Were you able to find any social security nets or social benefits for low-income Americans or single mothers that Donald Trump has pushed for since 2015? Be honest.
No, I'm reading about the child tax credit.
Hard to respond to that one.
I know you did. And that's literally what I'm reading. It's all that I'm reading within the Agenda 47, of course.
Alora, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal saying, Megan, if you voted for Trump, you deserve $0 in government assistance. I disagree with that.
I can't say much against like the child tax credit or anything like that because I literally paid in this year. So
yeah. So can you admit that Donald Trump hasn't done much of anything for low-income Americans? And when you tell me that you care so much about low-income Americans, there's absolutely no way to consolidate that with support for Donald Trump.
He has offered security with Medicare patients and prescription drugs.
He kicked everybody off of Medicare for 48 hours. Just saying, every America, 1 out of 5 Americans, did not have access to their systems for a day or two.
Well, I work in healthcare, so it didn't affect my patients. So,
if it didn't affect your patients, that just meant that your hospital where you work kept operating without any federal funding for Medicare during the blackout.
No, I work in dermatology, but we didn't see any no effects. But a lot of I will say in defense, a lot of our patients come from the VA, so they're on an authorization through the VA, and the VA is paying for it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Okay, so do we see here? If we want to go over the benefits that Kamala Harris had to offer to low-income Americans, first of all, her tax policy only benefited low-income Americans and the average American in the middle class. Boom, mic drop. She also supported the biggest increases to the child tax credit that we've had in modern American history, projected to decrease childhood poverty by 40%. Boom, mic drop. She also supported federal access to abortion for all women and girls. That supports low-income Americans because 55% of women that do get abortions cite the reason being that they do not have the financial needs to support a child, right? So when you allow them to access abortion, all that you're doing is preventing an unwanted child from being in an unready household. You prevent their access to abortion and pro-life in areas with pro-life legislation. We see lower qualities of life on average, lower levels of income, lower levels of education, and lower levels of employment. Boom, another mic drop. I could go all day. Shall I continue?
I would love you to.
Shit, okay.
I do love hearing all of this information, just so you know.
You know, like on another hand as well, it's a case that she didn't just support flat tariffs such as Donald Trump did that actively harm low-income Americans the most. So we have a prevention of harm. She was also better for the American debt. Her policy was not only less expensive, but she knew how she was going to pay for it, unlike Trump, whose policy is more expensive, and he has no clue how he's going to pay for it. Carolyn, thank you so much for the $5 super chat over on YouTube. I really appreciate you for that. So yeah, go ahead and respond.
I'm just reading so much right now.
Okay.
Probably that I'm not like saying anything. I'm just like literally just reading.
I mean, do you want to respond or anything? Give me
Yeah.
your thoughts. What if I bring a friend up in here for you? Hey, Arthur, you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I vote for Trump.
Ah, cool. Well, I think that Megan needs a friend, so take it away, man.
Well,
Alexandra, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on PayPal. Everybody, please show some love to Alexandra, as well as Juan with the $10 donation on PayPal saying gift. Thank you, Alexandra and Juan, guys. Show some love to Alexandra and Juan. And then Brian with the $4 over on PayPal as well. Thank you. So, and happy birthday, Megan. Another Megan, not you. So, Arthur, why'd you vote for Trump?
My birthday's not till November.
I vote for Trump because, I mean, you think I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris?
What? Dude, Arthur. Hello? Earth to Arthur? Are you sentient?
What?
Give me your reasons why you thought Trump was better. What the fuck was that? Yeah, sometimes, okay, we could say words that make no goddamn sense, and that was one of those times. So try again.
Okay. I think he's better for the border because there's a lot more illegal immigrants entering during Biden than there was Trump.
Okay, so then I could say that Trump is worse for unemployment because there's a lot more people unemployed under Trump than Biden, right?
But we have like record unemployment under Trump.
Well, I was actually a record that was beat not only once but twice by Joe Biden, but it's also the case that we also had a 100-year record high level of unemployment. April of 2020, may I add, 14.8%, may I add.
Well, it's called COVID.
I mean, but he still did good for unemployment.
Put a pause on the conversation, you guys. Put a pause on the convo. Take it away. Take it away and respond, Arthur.
So, I mean, just because someone did one thing better doesn't mean we can't ignore it. I mean, the border is a big issue.
Yeah. So, do you think that Biden and Harris caused a border crisis?
There is a crisis at the border, is what you're saying.
Do you think they caused it?
But are you admitting that there is a crisis?
I think at some points there's a crisis, yes. So did they cause it?
I can't see the reason why. I mean, you could say so.
1 second, Megan. Arthur, did they cause it?
You could say so because they repealed the Title 42.
Dude, oh my God. Title 42 is only constitutional under the condition that there is a public health emergency enact, okay? As soon as COVID ended, it was unconstitutional to keep Title 42 into effect. If Donald Trump was president, Donald Trump would have had to have let it expire too. By the way, they didn't repeal it. It merely expired, okay? They could not keep Title 42 in effect for any longer than they did. Also, Thumb, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on PayPal, saying, long live the Dean. Thumb, long live the Thumb. You've been watching forever, brother. I love and appreciate you so much. W Thumbs everywhere, always.
So you don't think there was any policies that they repealed under that Trump placed?
No, they did. They repealed the Remain in Mexico policy. They stopped some construction on the border wall for 2 years.
So, but why though?
Wait, why? Because there were bad policies that were ineffective, causing humanitarian crisis, and didn't accurately and appropriately address the issues at hand.
And what did they do to replace it?
Well, they didn't replace the Remain in Mexico policy with anything because asylum seekers should wait in America. I find that to be the most humanitarian thing to do. And they resumed border wall construction, or tried to, with the bipartisan border bill. In fact, they wanted to build more Trump wall than Trump built, but Trump torpedoed it and shut it down because he didn't want the Democrats to take a win. What about that, Arthur? You're full of shit, bud.
Whoa, hold on. Oh, easy, pal. Easy. Okay, Megan.
I'm just saying, like, there's a comment, and I'm just trying to be respectful by being quiet.
Okay. Well, all I gotta say is, I do think we got a problem with asylum seekers. Now, do you agree that we should let in immigrants based on economic status? So if they come from poorer countries, they should be able to get in.
Yeah. What? Yes. Yes. Yes.
So everyone can just come in because they come from poorer countries, which is like every country.
That's not because I think they should be allowed to come in. That's just not a reason for restriction. What the hell? Like, I think that individuals should be able to migrate into America, given they don't have like a violent history.
But do you understand that's goes against the whole thing of asylum? Asylum is because you come from a dangerous place, not for economic reasons.
Yeah, I'm not talking about asylum. I'm talking about like general ports of entry into our country.
So you don't believe in borders?
I do believe in borders, yes.
So what's the point of the border if everyone can come in?
Well, I never said everybody could come in. If you literally fucking listen to me, I said I do not think that individuals with a violent history should be able to come in.
Okay, but everyone else can, as long as you come from a different country and you don't have a violent history, which there's no way of knowing. I mean, how do you verify that if they're coming from a completely random country? How do you verify that?
I actually have no clue insofar as how the border would verify that. No, not a single fucking one.
Oh, so.
But you understand that's going to be an issue under your worldview too. Like, do you think that any amount of legal migrants should be able to come into our country?
Legal, yeah, we have a process.
Yeah, but how do you verify that they don't have a violent history?
Well,
exactly. See, like you probably don't know either. We're both not like professionals
so there's not a screening
on the
processes.
We're both not professionals on the screening processes of the southern border. I have no fucking clue. Neither do you.
But there is a screening process.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I do think a screening process should exist at the southern border. I do think that a screening process should exist at the southern border and specifically prevent individuals that have committed violent crimes from entering into America. Yes.
But you don't see the problem with letting everyone in, even for economic reasons.
You are actively fucking contradicting what I'm saying. I'm saying X, and then you're like, so you're saying Y. Letting everybody in would mean that you are letting people in with histories that have committed violent crimes. I'm specifically saying that we should not let individuals into our country that have committed violent crimes. Arthur, how many people do I need to repeat this? How many times do I need to repeat this, Arthur?
I understand no violent history.
Wait, do you agree with me though?
What agree what?
That individuals, like, say, for instance, individuals that have been held civilly liable for the violent sexual abuse of a woman, should they be let into America?
No.
No, they shouldn't. What should have stricter, guideline and barrier to entry? Streets on America, should be stricter just to get into America, or should be stricter to get into the White House?
Are you just gonna make the case because Trump has convictions?
No, I want you to answer my question. Should we have stricter guidelines for getting into America as a whole, or getting into the White House?
Well, both. Honestly, I think that we should have stricter guidelines
for running America compared to being in America. Do you agree?
So, I agree.
If we should have stricter guidelines for running America than for being in America, yet one of your guidelines for being in America is you should be denied entry if you've been held civilly liable for sexual violent assaults. If you think that individuals should be denied entry from the country if they've been held civilly liable for violent sexual assaults, would you also agree with me in saying that if you've been held liable for rape, sexual abuse, etc., that you should be denied entry to run the country, such as being the executor in the presidency?
Well, did we have those laws before?
No, we've never prevented individuals that have been held civilly liable from being as being a rapist from being president. The question is more of a moral question. Do you think that rapists should be able to become president?
Well, Trump's not a rapist, so.
Okay, but should rapists be able to become presidents?
No.
No. So Donald Trump is a rapist. He was held civilly liable for the rape of E. Jean Carroll. It was a verdict unanimously upheld by 9 different distinct jurors. And this was based upon a preponderance of evidence submitted to a court over the course of 2 to 3 years of discovery. So yes, Donald Trump is a rapist.
So, but that was not for rape. It was for battery, right?
No, specifically for sexual abuse was the legal charge. It's something that we both consider to be rape.
No, I don't consider that to be rape.
Okay, give me 1 second because my camera for YouTube continues to turn off. Okay, would you consider, right, A man penetrating a woman's female member with his fingers forcefully without her consent to be grape.
Do the courts decide that?
I'm asking you.
No, that's assault, sexual assault.
So what's grape?
I would say, I mean, I don't know how much. I know you're on TikTok, so I don't know.
Define
I can't
grape.
really. Forceful penetration.
Okay, well that is forceful penetration. Trump forcefully
Yeah, but not-
penetrated E. Jean
okay,
Carroll's
but-
female member with his fingers.
Is there not two definitions in the court?
There is two definitions in the court. It was defined in the court legally at the end.
So
of
it's
the
your
year.
opinion. So it's your opinion that it was great.
Yes, precisely.
Great. That's great. That means nothing. So I'm gonna listen to the court, not your opinion. Do you understand that?
Okay, if you think that we should define terms such as grape,
The court
entirely
defined
predicated
it
off
like
of
that.
the court. Okay, so if you think the court should be able to find that term, how many American slaves were graped?
I don't know.
How come? Why don't you say 0? Because while slavery was legal in America, there was no legislation to ever define unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved African as grape. Meaning, if you completely predicate your definition of grape off of what the courts say, the courts never said unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved African was grape.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So would you say a long time ago when slavery was legal, no slave was ever graped?
What? I don't know.
You don't know? Why don't you fucking know? Because
I'm
you
sure
just
at one
told me
point,
with
yes,
confidence
I'm sure
that
they were.
opinions mean nothing, and you entirely predicate your definition of these terms off of what the courts in law says. The courts in law never, ever, ever define unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved African as grape. That means that you wouldn't give a shit about the opinion of anybody that would ever posit that any slave was ever graped, and it was definitely the case that 0 slaves were graped. And if you ever confuse that, and you start to be rational, and you're like, well, maybe some slaves were graped, right? Or there's any potentiality that would exist that a slave was graped. All that you're saying is that you don't define what grape is and isn't predicated on what the law was or wasn't.
I want you to understand that I can't speak for something that happened hundreds of years ago.
Wait. Was a Holocaust a genocide?
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
No.
No? Wait, I have a question. Were there dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Okay. How can you say the Holocaust was a genocide, dinosaurs existed, but you can't say enslaved Africans during Emancipation era slavery in America were graped?
They were. I just can't give you a total amount.
Oh, shit. So we could agree that some American slaves were graped?
Yes, 100%.
According to what standard?
By how they were treated.
By how they exactly. So you're evaluating what grape is and isn't predicated off of the action that, we both know occurred. Not predicated off of what the courts told you grape was or wasn't. Precisely
You don't
my
think
point.
the courts agree that the slaves were raped? You don't think the courts believe that?
I know the courts didn't believe that because in accordance with the legislation during American slavery, black individuals didn't have human rights. They weren't considered people. Grape was not legislated or defined as grape, legally speaking, if it involved an enslaved individual. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the courts back then. We're talking about the courts now.
Okay,
With
so
the court-
so you're saying that you don't define grape predicated on the court's decision 250 years ago, but you do now. Why?
Because it's way more modern and liberal.
Okay, all that you're saying here, so I had to turn my camera back on now. All that you're saying here is that you think the courts got it wrong then, but the courts got it right now. So you're telling me,
100%.
yeah, so
What?
you're telling me that there's a standard outside of the courts that you're using, right, to verify that their definition of their definition of grape is accurate or not. So what is your standard to say the courts were wrong then, but right now?
Because we have multiple books written on it. I'm pretty sure everyone. Is there anyone that's leading the charge saying, other than you, saying that these two definitions should be the same definition? Is any lawyer saying that? Any judge?
Yeah, actually, yes. So, by the way, the judge that oversaw E. Jean Carroll's grape case said it. Oh, what now? The judge said that E. Jean Carroll's claim that Donald Trump graped her was substantially true, right, and threw out a countersuit by Trump, and the entirety of the state of New York updated their legal definition of grape in 2023 to reflect this, alongside 34 other states. What the fuck now? And I have a question for you. Since you define, right, grape as the penetration of the female member with a male member, does any grape occur in women's prisons?
Uh, no.
So you would look in the face of every single victim inside of a woman's prison that is reported grape, and you would tell them they're lying.
Okay.
You know
I'm
what?
saying-
We're gonna go all the way because of how fucking sick this is. Okay,
Oh,
if you guys have like extreme sensitivities, or like any sensitivity at all to these conversations, I'd recommend just turning down your phone for this next question because this is gonna get a bit dark. But the reason this next question is important is because it's really important for us to critically think about these things because of how it perpetuates grape culture and harm. And I just want to give that fair warning. So, it is often that we will see men grape like infants, toddlers, infants specifically, very sick, and because of the anatomy, they don't do it with their male member; they do it with their fingers. Okay, that is defined as the grape of an infant. Do you disagree with that prescription?
Disagree. What do you mean by that?
Do you
If you want me to say that, that's rape. Yeah, that's rape.
So all that this tells us is that you do believe the penetration of a female member with a male's fingers
Okay,
is grape.
can I just explain to you where I'm coming from?
No, because you just conceded. You now do agree that the penetration of a female member with a male's fingers is grape, true?
Do the courts believe that? I could show you an article right now that says he was not found liable for grape, but for battery.
Arthur, is the penetration of an infant's...
I'm not. That's just such a weird Why are you asking me this, bro?
I'm asking you that question because it is necessary to refute the ideologies that you hold to. And I've tried to explain this to you in 1,000,001 ways, okay? Because the reality of it is that words have importance, and when we intentionally try to obfuscate the harm caused by words by engaging in sophistry to refer to bad things with language that you nor society perceive as bad, you cause more harm in society on the broader scale. And I've walked you down this argument a fair amount of times in multiple ways. And as far as I'm concerned, this is literally my last avenue to convince you of my position. And I find great importance in convincing you of my position because it literally causes more harm towards more women and more girls the less people are convinced of my position. Okay? It allows for grape culture to be emboldened due to the excusing of these actions implicitly predicated
I'm
on
not
the use of
excusing
language
nothing. I'm not
that
excusing
isn't as
nothing.
important. So I just want to clarify. An infant, have the member penetrated with fingers? Can we both consider that child grape?
Yes.
So we both consider the penetration of the female member with fingers to be grape, yes?
Sure.
Donald Trump was held liable for penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina with his fingers, meaning that we both consider her to be a victim of grape.
Okay, can I just ask you a question now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this article I have right here says he was not found liable for rape, but for sexual battery.
Sexual assault, sexual abuse. And yes,
It says
because the
battery, right?
state defined the term grape as a penetration of the female member or the male member, did not find sufficient evidence for said action. However, they did find sufficient evidence of the penetration of her member with his fingers. Okay, and the legal definitions would consider that to be sexual abuse. However, the way that we colloquially use the term, which is something that we just agreed on, would define that action as grape. The judge agreed, you agree, I agree. All right, and now as soon as 2023, the state has agreed, is they have updated their definition of the term. So do you see here how, with a little bit of thought, we could explain to you how, yes, it is the case that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, and we could accept that?
If that's what you wanted to say, yes.
Okay, Arthur, do you have anything else you want to go over, man?
I don't know how you brought me down to this, but
Because I told you that Trump was a rapist, and then you denied it.
all I was saying was from the court what they thought. Okay, I didn't say I had any personal thought about it.
And I've already corrected you there too, because the court agrees he's a rapist. Like I've already brought up.
So this article is wrong that I'm reading. It's a lie.
No, it's not wrong. We need to add nuance in. So in
Okay,
the
sure.
original
If you want to be
civil,
nuanced, sure.
in the original civil proceedings, right? He was held liable for sexual abuse specifically. Okay, then E. Jean Carroll went on and called him a rapist on live TV. Donald Trump, because he was only held liable for sexual abuse, then tried to sue her for calling him a rapist under the same precedent that you're defining to me right now. The judge said that her claim that she was raped was substantially true and threw out the countersuit, and the entire state of New York updated their definition of grape to reflect what had happened to E. Jean Carroll as grape. Okay? So given the follow-up countersuit and the change in their legal definition in 2023, it is true that the state of New York and their criminal and civil justice system recognize what Donald Trump did to E. Jean Carroll as grape.
Okay. So I should just not vote for Trump because of that. I got you.
That's a pretty good reason. If Donald Trump was a child rapist, would you vote for him?
Is that how you would convince 77 million people just by saying that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that fact alone would convince 77 million people. We live in a very sick society.
I know 77 million people who support a rapist. I mean, that's disgusting, man.
It is disgusting. Yeah. What's your point?
My point is, I don't know how many people you're gonna actually convince with that.
Yeah. So you're just saying a lot of people don't believe it, therefore it's not true, right?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Well, then what the fuck are you saying? Do you have like a coherent sentient thought in your head?
You're vilifying a bunch of people.
Yeah, I think that you're definitely a POS for continuing to support Trump, even though he's a rapist, with your reason being, well, 77 million other people do too. Like, goddamn, bro, get a fucking spine, grow a backbone, okay? I don't think that the first slave owner in America was any worse or any better than the last slave owner in America. No matter how many people are engaging in a morally atrocious action, it is still just as bad. I mean, like, literally, think about the proportion of humans alive on Earth 600 years ago that were married to children. Okay?
Dean,
so if it was everybody on Earth or one person on Earth, would that action of child marriage be any worse or any better? Absolutely not. So when you're just like, I support a rapist, but 77 million other people do too. Okay, well, it's just 77 million people engaging in the identically morally abominable action.
Okay, why are people calling me a pedo in the chat?
I don't just... Talk to me.
Okay. So I mean, I don't know how you have debates with people that are actually like that come out with good outcomes if you just instantly bring up rape though. I don't know how you come to a conclusion, because everything I can say now is just I can't defend him now. You understand that?
So you're just mad that I gave you the defeater?
But like
yeah, this dude's just pissed I gave him the defeater.
I'm not pissed. You just made it personal, like super personal for no reason.
Oh God, so you're basically like, yeah, Trump's a rapist, but you shouldn't have mentioned that because like now like all my arguments have failed.
It's not that, it's just it morally.
No fucking reason? Are you joking me, Arthur? Are you actually trolling? You think that I have no reason to point out the fact that our president is a rapist? No reason at all?
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that is explicitly what you just said. You literally just said that I had no reason to inform you that the president is a rapist. That is word for word, bar for bar, explicitly what just came out of your mouth.
Okay. This was about terrible. It says behind you, Trump is terrible for America. I don't know how any of this has to do with that.
You don't know how being a rapist is terrible for America? We're supposed to societally scrutinize, condemn, and limit the opportunity of rapists. I mean, shit, McDonald's won't even hire you if you have any felon at all. The reason that we're supposed to do that is because it limits more bad men from doing more bad things moving forward because of the consequences that exist. That is the same reason that we have posted speed limits and cops with their, with their laser guns that'll give you a ticket, because it is supposed to be scrutinized, condemning, and applying punishment to people that speed. Like, unironically, think about a road with a posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour, and at every street corner, you have a cop that's going to give you for a ticket for $100 if you go anything over 35 miles per hour. What's going to happen? Essentially, nobody's going to be speeding on that road because of the consequences that exist. Now imagine that there was no posted speed limit on that road, and there was no cops at every corner. Are people going to go above 35 miles per hour? Abso-fucking-lutely. So now think about this through the lens of grape culture on the societal level. When a man grapes a woman, if we want to limit the amount of men that grape women, we limit their opportunity to scale up in society. We apply them consequent. We condemn them. We scrutinize them. We make sure everybody knows how bad of an action that is. But instead, half of our country has now decided that we are going to uplift a grapist into the highest ranking position of power known to mankind, available to any human on earth. Okay, we're going to act as if the civil liability claim that he was guilty for grape either doesn't exist, we'll deny it and call the victim a liar, while vilifying E. Jean Carroll, calling her a liar and turning her into a monolith of the left, making her get fucking fired from her job as a journalist, which was fucking true, by the way, because she pursued civil litigation against Trump, she got fired. And then yeah, like that is what will perpetuate grape culture to a higher degree in America. So it's of vital importance.
Okay. So am I allowed to talk about like the economy and immigration, or you want to keep talking about grape?
You can talk about whatever you want to, man.
I don't know how you pulled me into this, but anyways, what I was talking about was immigration.
Name one long-term border policy that Trump wants to sign into law.
Remain in Mexico.
That's not a long-term border policy.
How is that not long-term?
Keeping asylum seekers in Mexico while they wait to have their asylum claim process leads to very inhumane outcomes. We see higher rates of grape. We see higher rates of DV. We see higher rates of violent crime.
Oh my God. Bro.
Sorry, should I just like conceal the fact? Should I just stop like talking about true things?
Okay, so you want that to happen here?
Are you saying that I should like just stop talking about true fucking things?
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, it's a long-term policy because Mexico's not going anywhere. Okay.
So how many people did the Remain in Mexico policy specifically apply to, given the years it was implemented?
I don't know the specifics.
60,000 people in like 2.5 years. So the Remain in Mexico policy impacted barely anyone. So give me a long-term effective border solution that Donald Trump wants to pass through Congress. Also, like, why are you getting upset that I'm calling out like grape? I'm like, grape bad, and you're like, oh, here we go again. Oh my God! Yeah, I'm so sorry. If you get pissed off by like the sentiment of calling grape bad,
because
like, what does that tell me about you? I'm so sorry. I like just clocked that shit. Like I was just gonna let it slide. Okay, I was just gonna like continue to debate, and I was just gonna ignore that. But no, we gotta fucking clock that shit. I'm like, great, bad, and then you're like, holy, like, why are you taking that personally?
Because look at your chat.
So you agree you're taking it personally?
Dude, personally calling me a rapist right now in your chat. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, I do disagree with baseless accusations of grape. I'm pretty sure the sentiment that the chat is, getting at is that you're acting really fucking strange. Okay, it's unlikely that a man that is not engaged in sexual misconduct or grape would be engaging in such odd, weird, sus behavior. That is,
Look,
I think that's what the chat is trying to say.
I just thought we had a disagreement because we were talking about court, and then now you were talking about the social aspect, and that's what the disagreement happened. Okay.
No, you brought up the Remain in Mexico policy. I let you go to immigration, and then you're like, oh, the Remain in Mexico policy. Then I brought up the fact like, oh, well, that's like a bad policy humanitarian-wise, because when asylum seekers are like kept in Mexico while their claim is processing, they're more likely to be a victim of a violent crime such as grape. Also, Eric, thank you so much for the $10 super chat over on YouTube, saying is the chat in the room with us right now. I'm pretty sure he's referring over to TikTok. I appreciate you. Love Eric.
My question is, can you just convince like the entire Republican, like half the country, to just not support Trump because he's a rapist? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think I could.
I don't understand why Kamala Harris didn't just do that during the debate.
With all the facts that I have, I don't think I could convince half of our country that Trump isn't a good person to support. What?
Okay.
Does that mean I'm ineffective at what I'm doing if I can't convince everybody on Earth?
Look, I just...
And also, she specifically did bring that up during the debate, too. So you're literally saying because I can't convince half the country that I'm just like, wrong.
I'm just saying making it personal and attacking the person asking questions is not helping.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just pointing out the facts, and you're being like weird as shit about it. Share
Like,
things
why are
with
you
Star
calling
Map.
me weird? Like, what is with that,
Because
man?
you're being fucking weird. I'm over here trying to have a debate about Trump, and then you're like giving me like the worst, weirdest responses of all time. Here, the fact of the
Buddy.
matter is, Donald Trump's a rapist. You asked me for something bad that he's done. There's something bad that he's done. You then wanted to pivot to immigration, which I'm still allowing you to do. We could talk about more things than the fact that he's a rapist.
Okay, let's talk about immigration. Did more people come in under Biden or under Trump?
Under Biden.
There we go. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah, but it's a fact that doesn't lead you to the conclusion that therefore Biden or Harris are worse for the southern border. Who's better for employment in your mind? Obama, what the fuck? Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Donald Trump.
He's worse for employment?
No, he's better.
He's better for employment. But it's a fact that there was higher levels of unemployment under Donald Trump. So see what I mean here? Like just because, right, things happen in the country doesn't mean they're necessary to blame on the president, and you'll actively contradict yourself in what you think. You just yielded the conclusion because there's more border crossings under Biden, therefore Biden was worse for the border. Why don't you yield the conclusion because there was higher levels of unemployment under Trump that therefore Trump is worse for employment?
Okay, I yield that.
Yeah. Anything else, man?
So you don't think that Trump had any good policies?
I think that Project Warp Speed was all right. Right to Try Act was okay, but yeah, like 99% of his policies are.
What do you think of the
incredibly
stimulus
bad.
checks?
What?
The stimulus checks.
Yeah. So that would be like included within COVID. Yeah, that was okay.
It was okay. Okay. Now, can you give me what good Biden policies?
Yeah. How about we go band for band? So I name one good Biden policy, then you name one good Trump policy, and we'll go back and forth. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll start. One good Biden policy would be the PACT Act, invested $850 million into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits. Your term.
The Tax Cuts Act.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was bad, cost close to $2 trillion. 75% of the cuts in the bill went to top 1% of earners and only grew the GDP by close to $20 billion per year, 0.04% growth year by year. And all that money was just placed on the debt. It was exorbitant spending and a bad investment.
But I know people personally who had their tax cuts from it.
And what point did I just make that proves wrong?
Well, you're saying it didn't help the middle class.
No, bro. I said that 75% of the cuts in the bill went to members of the top 1%.
Yeah, it's trickled down.
Trickle-down economics don't work. In fact, we even have a Brookings study that indicated that there is no new macro-level business investment following the introduction of the TCJA, indicating that the rich people that got these tax cuts did not invest the additional profits back into their company.
You say what's Brookings?
Brookings? It's a
Is that government?
It's a massive, reputable financial institution.
Financial institution.
Yeah, that provides evidence for their claims.
What's the website?
Brookings, Brookings. Just look up Brookings. TCJA on the new macro level business investment. Not to mention that trickle down economics has always been a failure. Since the introduction of Reaganomics way back when, we've seen stagnation in worker wages with increases in worker productivity, basically meaning that workers are making big companies more and more and more money, yet that is not leading the companies to increasing worker wages. So when a corporation has increased in profits, they just don't increase worker wages.
So you don't believe that if companies have more money, they don't invest it into the economy?
Yeah, especially when you're like cutting the corporate tax rate. Like if we want more reinvestment from our companies back into the economy, back into their own businesses, we actually need to increase the corporate tax rate. Like let me ask you an example. Let's say that every single Friday night you buy 20 beers, okay? And now you are free to drink as many of those 20 beers as you want, and then you can put the remainders of the beers that you have left in your fridge. Okay? Like maybe you'll drink as much as you want. Maybe you drink 5 a Friday. But now imagine one of these Fridays I come along and I'm like, hey there, bud, I'm going to take 50% of the beers that you leave left. You're more incentivized to drink more beers, right? Put more of that beer back into your body, correct?
Maybe.
Right? If I'm telling you that I'm going to take 50% of the remainder. I don't want a maybe, I want a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, literally think about you getting beers every Friday and you being more likely to consume more of those beers, put them back into your body, and me when I take 50% as the government taking a corporate tax rate from corporations. Right? Every single day, these corporations turn a profit. These corporations make revenue. When the government steps in and they're like, hey, well, we're going to take a remainder of your leftover revenue, which we call profit, they're more incentivized to take more of that leftover revenue and put it right back into the business. So you just conceded through the use of an analogy that increases in corporate tax rates actually lead to higher levels of macro business investment.
So what would you say is the opposite?
What the
I mean,
fuck?
what?
What the fuck are you saying? Like
Whoa,
literally,
whoa,
what it,
whoa.
like what did those words mean? What did those words mean? What did those words correlate to what I was saying? How did those like what the fuck? No, bye Arthur. We're just gonna kick you. Opposite of what? What is Moving on to our next guest. Here we go. Sherry, thank you so much for the $30 donation over on PayPal. That is very, very, very kind. Sherry says, to kick Arthur, the tiny little man who doesn't take grape seriously. Well, you got what you wanted. We just went ahead and kicked him out, so I really appreciate you so much for that love, Sherry. Massive W's to Sherry down below. Also, Justin with a $20 donation over on PayPal saying, fuck Trump, keep up the good work, keep people informed. I appreciate you for that love, Justin. Everybody, please show some love to Justin and Sherry down below in that live chat. And then also Nicole. Oh my gosh, Nicole with a $3 donation, Jocelyn with a $1 donation, Emily with a $10 donation, sending love from Germany. I appreciate you for the love, Emily. W's for Emily in the chat. And then Shannon with a $25 donation over on PayPal, and Lorena with a $25 donation as well. Please show some love to Lorena, Shannon, Jocelyn, Nicole, Sherry, and Justin, and I appreciate you guys so much for your love. If you're watching the stream and you want to support me, you could support me through PayPal, which is found in the link tree in my bio. Hearing people say that Jamie's a child, so we're going to go and kick her. And of course, if you want to support the stream and you don't have PayPal, I used to have Venmo. We don't have that anymore, though, because we got suspended. You could support me over on YouTube through the use of their super chat. So if you're watching on TikTok and you're like, hey, I want to support Dean, but I don't have PayPal, so how do I do it? Go to the link tree in my bio, click through the YouTube stream, and you can support me through super chat. It's super duper easy. But let's go and get the next guest up in here. Spam MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to join. We have been live for a total of 3 hours and 9 minutes. We're probably going to do about another hour on live, and then we are going to hop off for the night. What is going on, new guest? Did you vote for Trump? And they're not here. Moving on. We got Bash loading up in. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. All right. Hello, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Yo, Vigilante, thank you for the $10 YouTube super chat. Saying it's so frustrating when Trump supporters don't understand why we get frustrated. So real. So Charlie, why did you vote for Trump?
So, I kind of just want to talk about the issue of the transgender community and the kind of the problem that is going on with it.
So I don't think there's any problem relating to trans individuals. I think the only problem here would be you having a problem towards trans individuals. But unfortunately, we cannot talk about trans individuals on the live. It'll get the whole live taken down. I'm literally telling you, if you continue to speak about it, your account will get taken down.
That's kind of interesting because I've talked about it with Parker before and none of us got taken down from the live. I've also talked about it on many other lives.
Then you got lucky.
Nothing has ever happened.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm telling you, then you just got lucky.
So can I just not mention their names in particular?
No, you literally cannot say the word trans. Like I'm just telling you.
That's what I'm. Can I just not say that word? Like I'm not even going to mention that word.
They'll just make the dialogue all fucking hard to have. I'd rather just have like a confluent train of thought that we could both follow and just talk about. I mean, if 10 people in the NCAA are seriously your biggest fucking issue, and they in the election, you probably have much bigger issues, right?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest issues that Kamala Harris ran on.
Kamala Harris did not run on any trans inclusive policy.
Wait, how did I say it wrong? I said Kamala.
I said Kamala Harris did not run on any trans inclusive policy. I wish that she would have. I don't think that her campaign was pro-trans enough. So why did you vote for Trump? Also, Jennifer, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love.
I mean, I really wanted to talk about that issue, but
yeah,
it's kind of
suck, man. I wish that we could too. I'd really love to talk about it with you too, but it's just TikTok to us.
I just don't think that that's a real thing. I mean,
okay, Charlie, you're fucking embarrassing yourself to any active and repeat viewer of my stream that has seen me have multiple conversations about trans individuals and the live get taken down or a guest get banned every single time. So how about you stop being a child, right? And either debate me on something else or leave. It's really up to you. And I'm completely fine with you leaving if you just came up here to talk about trans individuals and it just simply didn't work out because that's a TOS.
Wait, what did you just say? Did you just say the word you weren't supposed to?
Yeah, I did, but it's fucking fine. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm dancing on the red line, but I could make that decision because it's my live. If you just want to talk about trans individuals, just leave. But if you have any other talking points, which hopefully you do, right? Because hopefully 0.05% of our population isn't your main voting concern, and you're a more rational person, please give me another reason why you voted for Trump.
Yeah, I also don't believe in abortion. I think that Trump's stance on abortion was better, even though that Kamala was saying that we needed to stand up for women's rights, it would still be left to the states either way. So I don't really think that's a factor in determining who I would have voted for. I just think the morality of
Wait, the codification of a federal law to protect a woman's elective access to abortion up until the point of viability would have protected it from being in the hands of the states until 20 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought that no matter who won the presidency, it still would have been left up to the states.
No. She was going to pass federal law to specifically ban states from making it
And
illegal.
wait, yeah, she would have passed the law, but do you think it would have gone through?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's
Thank
not.
you so much for the galaxy. I have a question. Have you asked that about any other policy ever proposed by a candidate? Like literally, I've only ever heard the argument, oh, but it wouldn't have gone through Congress when it pertains to her passing federal protection for a woman's right to choose, because it's just a genuinely good policy that you can't refute. So then you're just like,
No,
oh,
it's
well, it
not.
wouldn't have gone through. I actually think it'd be incredibly likely to go through. A, if Democrats got a majority, and then B, just because, what is it, like 65 to 70% of Republicans on the macro scale support a woman's access to abortion. I think it would have passed.
I think Trump worked really hard to get it to the states, so I think because of that, they wouldn't have just turned it around that fast. So I definitely do
Well,
not.
the people that got it back to the states wouldn't have done jack shit, because the people that got it back to the states was Congress. The people that would have brought it back to the federal government was, the people that brought it back to the states was the Supreme Court. The people that would have brought it back to the federal government was Congress.
Okay, and what percent of Congress is Republican?
The Republicans have a majority in both the House and the Senate. Given a Harris win, Democrats would also likely won the House and the Senate. So under this alternate version of reality where Kamala Harris won, this would also indicate that Democrats would have probably won in both the House and the Senate.
Okay, well, I mean, even if that was true, that just hurts my case even more because I don't want the killing of innocent human life. So if Kamala Harris would have won, that would have mean that more abortions probably would have been taking place, and that's not something I'm okay with. So that is a reason that I voted for Trump.
Oh, okay. So do you value all innocent human life the same?
All human innocent life? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, when does human life begin?
When does human life begin?
Yeah.
At the point of conception.
Got it. So you're in between a rock and a hard place here. Would you rather kill one person to save 10 people or kill 10 people to save one person?
Can you repeat that? I don't know what you said.
Would you rather kill one person to save 10 people or
Yeah, I'd rather kill one
10
person.
people to save one person?
I'd rather kill one person to save 10 people.
Okay, so you'd rather kill one person to save 10 people, and you think all innocent human life is equally as valuable.
So would you
think that
rather
human
say
life
that
begins at the
I
moment
go
of
on a
conception?
burning fire, or would
So
you rather?
I have a question.
10
Would you
infants?
rather kill me to save 10 zygotes?
Oh, it's a different one this time. Okay.
Or kill
Good.
10 zygotes to save me?
That's a stupid comparison because it's like asking if someone was. Oh, okay. That's like asking if someone was brain dead and they're on monitors and it's saying like in 9 months this person is going to live, like they have like a great chance of coming back to life. Or there's this person next to you, you can save either of them, but the person next to you is talking to you and like they're moving around. Of course I'm going to choose the person that's moving around and talking to me, even though that person is not guaranteed life, has a great chance of coming back into existence in 9 months. So of course I'm going to pick the person next to me who's like engaging and I can see their full attributes of human existence.
Okay, why?
I just told you because one has the potential in 9 months to come to life, or the person next to me
Wait,
is.
wait. You just said that a zygote has a potential in 9 months to come to life. I thought you told me that life starts at conception, meaning life is something they already have.
Yeah, life is something that they already have, but it's completely different than like actually being in human form.
Well,
Like this-
I know, and this is actually what kind of bleeds us into the pro-choice worldview, is you're like, yeah, I am completely different from a zygote. I am significantly more valuable than 10 zygotes. I could probably bump it up to like 100 zygotes too. And you know what the difference is between me and a zygote? The expression of sentience. Why am I pro-choice? Because I value said expression of sentience, and it sounds like you do too. You're just not willing to admit it. I don't attribute any value to any form of biological life intrinsically. I attribute value to the expression of subjective experiences, particularly a conjunct of past or present and future subjective experiences. And that's why I'm pro-choice. That's why I don't attribute any moral value to a fetus prior to the point in which it can gain the ability to deploy sentience. That's why I don't value a zygote, and seemingly that's why you don't value a zygote either. You're just explaining it using different words. You're like, obviously, I'd choose Dean over the 10 zygotes because you're, currently expressing, all the attributes of a human experience. Well, what's the key word there? Fucking experience. An experience is predicated on sentience, and a zygote nor a fetus doesn't have it. Therefore, I don't value the zygote or the fetus, and I don't think that it's wrong for a mother to kill the zygote or fetus inside of their uterus.
So when do you think that sentience begins?
Current medical consensus is around 20 to 24 weeks.
20 to 24 weeks for sentience. And what's the big difference between about, like, I don't understand how a 20 to 24 week old infant could have sentience to begin with.
Well, the current medical consensus is that the ability to gain and deploy sentience is predicated on the presence of thymocortical connections in which occur via that point.
Isn't sentience like present, past, and future knowledge, or like not knowledge, but existence wise?
Well, it's how Parker defines sentience. Guess you've been listening. I just think that sentience is a subjective experience.
So you think that in the womb that an infant has the ability to display those attributes?
Yeah, very low levels of subjective experiences at about 20 to 24 weeks. Yep.
Because the consensus before a long time ago was that consciousness usually develops after birth, specifically within the few months of existence to about the age of 1.
Actually, you're wrong.
And wait, what?
Yeah, so the more that we've learned in science, the farther along we've pushed that line. In the 70s and 80s, the medical consensus was that sentience emerged at like 7 weeks because we were able to detect some low-level alpha brainwaves in like fetuses that were taken out of the bodies of mothers. As that medical consensus evolved, we saw that goalpost shift to 12 weeks, to 15 weeks, to 18 weeks. And now since about 2010, the consensus has, lied in that 20 to 24 week point. So
I think what I'm referring to mostly actually is probably consciousness, but I think that consciousness cannot exist.
What do you mean by consciousness there? Because I just take consciousness and the term sentience to be interchangeable and synonymous. I just think that consciousness is subjective experiences.
Wait, say that again?
I just think that consciousness is the same thing as sentience. 2 words for the same thing.
Okay, yeah, but that's like some brain activity exists by 24 to 28 weeks. I think.
No, some brain activity exists by 7 weeks. Alpha waves. Isn't
okay,
cool?
but full
That's
consciousness
like crazy.
awareness likely develops after birth, and that is the consensus. That is the consensus within the scientific community.
No, it's fucking not. You're
Yeah,
just literally
yes.
lying. Because the current medical consensus, insofar as the scientific community, insofar as when a fetus has the ability to deploy some low levels of subjective experiences, is going to be around 20 to 24 weeks. What you're referencing is an individual to be self-aware, okay? Yeah, self-awareness is not sentience. Self-awareness is something completely different and separate from sentience.
Well, if they're not self-aware until after birth, then why would you not just make it later in the pregnancy cycle to kill them? If they're not self-aware, why does it matter if you kill them?
Because they're sentient. That's why, and I value sentience. I don't value self-awareness. I value sentience. Dude, dogs aren't self-aware. Would you be okay with like killing a fucking dog? Probably not, right? Come
Dogs?
on, let's get a grip.
I think dogs are self-aware.
I know, no, you could do a mirror test on a dog. They're literally not self-aware now.
So I don't understand why you're holding to sentience like it's that big of a deal.
Okay, so you're just telling me that you don't understand why we value that?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, what's the point of valuing sentience if you don't value what the prior things that come before
So
sentience?
yeah, so
like 6 to 8 weeks.
I value a
basic
conscious
neutral-
experience because it just explains my intuitions. I value people that are alive, but I don't value people that are dead. Well, like first you ask the question, is it just that biological life is present within one but not present within the other? No, because I also don't value like biologically alive things that don't express subjective experiences. So I'll value like me or you, but I won't value a brain dead patient or like a plant. So what's the difference between me, you, a brain dead patient, and a plant? Seemingly, it's like subjective experiences. So we're
Okay,
just kind
so-
of drilling down insofar as well, like the traits in which we value, And when we use deductive reasoning, we reason that it's sentience that we value. And I mean, this was even done on your position because you told me that you'd value me more than 10 zygotes. So what is it? Is it the fact that I'm human and they're not human? No, they're human. Is it the fact that I'm alive and they're not alive? No, they're alive. Is it the fact that I look differently from them? Well, hopefully you don't judge moral value predicated on like aesthetics. I think we'd be able to run that argument into the ground really fucking fast. So if it's not aesthetics, right? If it's not species, if it's not the classification of being biologically alive or dead, well, what do we have left? Fucking sentience, okay? Maybe it's the ability to feel pain. Well, if I didn't have the ability to feel pain, would I still be valuable? Yes. Maybe it's the ability to perceive, think, the ability to like see. If I was blind, would I still be valuable? Yes. Maybe it's the ability to speak. If I couldn't speak, would I still be valuable? Yes. So any way that we do this, like deductive drill down of trying to acknowledge and understand the trait that gives us moral value, any way you go about it, it always ends with a conclusion of sentience.
Okay, yeah, but I just think it's value that you value sentience that much. But let me just go through. At 4 days, they contain 46 chromosomes, determining genetic traits. They begin cell division. During days 4 to 7, they have inner cell mass, which becomes the embryo. During week 2, the neutral tube begins forming, the heart starts beating, limb buds appear. Early brain development, eyes, ears, and tiny fingers. I'm reading this, by the way.
Yeah, why are you reading this? This is boring me, and it's caused 500 people to leave.
No, because your point is ridiculous. You're valuing sentience, but you don't value human.
I don't value any of those things. I have a question. When was the last time you ate a pig, a chicken, or a cow?
Today.
Yeah. Do pigs, chickens, and cows have every single trait that you just defined? Chromosomes, genetic structure, heart, lungs, brains?
Do they have human DNA?
Oh, so it's not the chromosomes, hearts, lungs, brains, genetic structure that you value. So why did you just go down? So then why did you just go down this fucking list of, oh my God, and look at all these things that you don't value? It's insane. No, it's none of those things that you value. It's the human DNA that you value. So yes, right? They don't have human DNA. Do your brain dead patients have DNA? Human DNA?
Wait, that's just the stupidest thing that you've said so far.
No, it's the most obvious thing that I've said so far. The answer is yes. So do you think that it is state chartered and funded murder and genocide, that the fact that we have hundreds of thousands of individuals that are pulled off of life support that are brain dead every year?
How do they not have human DNA?
They do have human DNA. I'm asking you a question.
You said that they don't have human DNA.
They do have human DNA. You misheard me.
Oh.
So do we have state organized, funded, and chartered genocide and murder happening across hospitals in our country because we kill like 100,000 brain dead patients per year?
I want to add two things to this. First, I'm going to answer the question.
I want a yes or a no.
Yeah, I'm going to say the answer, then I'm going to explain a little bit more. I'm going to say no, but if 9 months they had the potential to live, I do not think that we should be pulling the plug on them.
And I would agree with you because they have suggested past experiences already established, just like a coma patient or somebody sleeping, so I would value them too. So now that we both have understood that we do not value brain dead patients, although they are both alive and have human DNA, then no, it is not the human DNA in a fetus that you provide value to. So what is it? What trait of the fetus do you provide value to?
I just told you.
No, you did. You told me that you provide value to the human DNA. However, that's also present within a brain dead patient, and you don't value them. That's either a contradiction or your special plane in the context of a fetus. So that is not your principle that dictates value.
I don't think past experience. I'm saying besides the past experience.
So what is present within the fetus that you value?
Okay, I'll tell you.
So tell me, because it's not DNA.
No. The heart beating?
Wait, no, because you don't value pigs, but they have a beating heart. So it's not a heart.
Because these babies have human DNA.
But we've already did that drill down, you fucking donut. Brain dead patients have human DNA, and you don't think it's murder to pull the plug. But in the same way, a pig has a heartbeat. Therefore, I know it's not the heartbeat that you value. A brain dead patient has human DNA. Therefore, I know it's not the DNA that you value. So what is it?
Let me tell you the difference between a baby in the womb in a dead brain patient is they both have in 9 months. Let's just say that in 9 months the dead brain patient can come back to life or come back into existence. Brain dead, yeah. I'm saying that I don't care about past experience. So now we're limiting past experience. The baby in the womb and the dead brain patient both have human DNA.
Brain dead.
Okay, it's not that big of a deal. They both have human DNA. And they both have the potential in 9 months to come back to life or come into existence.
No, only the fetus says that. Brain dead patients don't.
So I'm saying, I'm giving a hypothetical, like you always give hypotheticals. So this is my hypothetical. I'm saying in 9 months, the hypothetical is that they would come back to life. And I'm saying I do not care about past experience. So now I'm saying that they both
You
have
just care about
human
future
DNA.
experience, right?
I mean, I don't want to kill dementia people who can't remember yesterday.
So then awesome. So all that you're telling me is it's not the human DNA in a fetus that you value. It's the capacity for future consciousness that you value, correct?
Well, actually, I want to mention that. That was a good point. What about...
Can you just answer my fucking question?
Well, you asked so many questions.
I'm
You're
asking a very
never
clear
on
question because I've been
defense.
trying to.
You're never on defense.
I was on defense for the last 30 minutes defending my pro
Are you
sentience
serious?
position. Now, please answer my
What
question.
about people
Is
with
it the case-
dementia?
People with dementia can still express sentience. If a fucking fetus at 20 weeks can do it, a dementia patient can do it. You fucking.
They
donut.
they can't remember past experiences. They can't. My grandpa can't even remember yesterday. So you think that we should wipe? What?
Yeah, great. So first of all, no, there is not a single dementia patient on the face of the planet Earth that cannot remember any prior experiences. Typically, the way that dementia will present itself within a patient is they have lack of short-term memory recall. However, they will be able to tell you memories from their childhood with perfection. So, like, first of all, what you're telling me is just factually
That
correct.
is so-
Second of all, even if it
my
was the
God.
case that a dementia patient, wait, you're going to tell me that that's wrong? Wait, that's factually true. If
You
you,
think-
or
you think
anybody in your
someone in the
family you've ever
room is
known
gonna be
has
able to remember?
wait. If you or anybody that you've ever known has had dementia, then of course you know that what I'm saying is fact. However, it is the case that dementia patients had no past memory recall; they have present memory recall. So thank you very much. So now
Okay,
I'm gonna go back to the same question that I've been
let me
asking
ask
you.
one more
No,
thing.
because I've
Oh
been
my
trying
God.
to ask you what you value in the fetus since you fucking came up here and you've been unwilling to answer and you've just been acting like a fucking donut. First, you said it was human DNA. I had to literally scream at you to get you to recognize that that was wrong after giving you the hypothetical of a brain dead patient for 25 minutes straight.
I gave you
You
my
gave me the
hypothetical.
same thing as a fucking like a heart, lung, and I told you all those same traits were also present within a pig. Then you just went right back to the human DNA. But now that I've screamed at you enough, you're no longer like, yeah, it's the human DNA alone that's valuable. So now I'm asking you a follow up question: is it you like gave me a scenario where you said that you'd value if they had the capacity to come back to life, quote unquote, in like 9 months or whatever. So you're telling me that you value the future potentiality or potency for consciousness. True?
Yes, I do.
Phenomenal. So in other
Of
words,
human DNA,
So
yes.
in other words, you're saying that consciousness equals right to life. Okay, a fetus will have consciousness in the future. Therefore, we should just extend them that right now, right?
Human DNA, yes.
Okay. So if we were to break your argument down into its principled logic, you're saying if a trait grants a right and an entity such as a fetus has the potentiality to have said trait in the future, we should just extend them that same right now, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So if a trait grants a right, if being 18 grants you the right to have the ability to consent to sex, and if an entity has the potentiality to have said trait in the future, if a 10-year-old has the potentiality to be 18 in the future, should we extend them that right now? Should we give 10-year-olds the right to consent to sex?
Should we give individuals the right to transition into different genders?
I don't mind talking to you about trans people at another time. Stop like trying to baselessly. What the fuck?
But that's the same equivalent. You're gonna say yes to that, but I'm gonna say no to mine because that's and that's a bad comparison because we're talking about the life and then you're changing it to age. Age and life have no correlation. You
So-
can't identify with an age, just like
So the identifiable, right, characteristic that is present within the hypothetical question I asked you about the 10-year-old, right, that makes these two scenarios analogous is the underlying logic. And I ran you through that. I clarified that your position is, consciousness equals right to life. Fetus has a potentiality for consciousness, therefore we should extend them right to life now. We broke that down to a logical principle. If a trait grants a right
that's
and an
not-
entity has the potentiality to have that trait in the future, therefore we should give them right now. And then all we did was we replaced the key terms there, trait, right, and entity, right, with being 18 grants you the right to consent to sex, an entity with a 10-year-old having the potentiality to be 18 in the future, meaning given your logic, you think that 10-year-olds should have the right to consent to sex now. It is nothing more than a logical comparison using your principle to suggest an absurd conclusion. The absurd conclusion is that we do not confuse the state of actually having a trait that gives you a right with the potentiality of having it in the future. Those
Okay, I
are two
agree.
very distinct things,
Yes.
right? In the same way, we actually wait for an individual to be 18 now to give them the right to consent to sex.
Okay,
we
now-
should
now-
actually wait for a fetus to have the
Yes,
ability
I
to deploy
understand
consciousness
that.
now to grant them the right to life.
Yes. Now I agree with you. Now I'm gonna ask you
Wait,
the
you
same.
agree with
exact
me? So then you're pro-choice.
Yes.
Wait. If you agree
I'm
with
gonna,
me, then you're pro-choice.
I'm gonna give you the same exact
Wait.
scenario.
Wait.
Please let
Wait.
me
Wait.
talk.
Wait.
Please.
Wait. No, I just want to clarify. You just said that you agree with me, so you're pro-choice now.
I don't agree with you, but I want to give you the same example.
Wait, if you don't agree with me, then what's your rebuttal?
I'm going to tell you it right now if you
So,
let
yeah,
me
so,
talk.
so then what is your rebuttal insofar as why you think
Okay,
that the
I'm going to
logic would
give you
not
the
follow?
same example, and you're not going to like it. People who want to switch their gender, just because they have said trait, doesn't mean that they should be able to. Do you think that if you believe in that, then that also means that you believe that people that an 18-year-old should be allowed to be a 10-year-old just because they have said trait, just because they feel like that? It's the exact same logical comparison, exactly the same.
What?
And your chat is just like obsessed with you, so they're
Wait.
like, oh my gosh.
Okay, wait. So you're saying like an 18-year-old wanting to be a 10-year-old is the same thing as a trans woman wanting to be a woman? Okay.
Because they have said trait.
Yeah, you're already
and
wrong.
because-
So age is biological.
Just because you
okay.
have said.
So under the worldview of a trans individual and myself, by the way, age.
Wait,
is
you're
biological.
trans?
No, I said a trans individual and myself. No, I didn't say a trans individual as myself. A trans
Okay.
individual and myself. Okay.
Okay.
Age is biological. You can't change your biology. And then gender identity is not biological. Okay. That's when you come in and you're like, oh, but gender is biological. Yeah, that's not what a trans woman means when they say they're a woman. A trans woman isn't calling themselves a female with XY chromosomes.
And
a trans woman defines the term woman separately and distinct from a relation to biology. So when you would come in here and you like make this obfuscation between relating, right, gender to
You
sex.
just did the same thing. You just related a biological baby to age. You just did that.
What?
You just did that. You just said that the biological baby in the womb, you're comparing it to an 18-year-old saying that they want to go back to the age of 10. It's the same exact comparison.
So
Exactly
it's
the same.
not the same exact comparison.
Oh my gosh.
So
it literally
I want to be very clear. I was making a moral argument saying should you give the right to consent to sex to a 10-year-old because they will be 18 in the future.
And I'm saying-
you're making a descriptive argument. Can an 18-year-old be 10? An 18-year-old cannot be 10. What are you saying?
You're just saying, can a 10-year-old be 18? That's not the
No,
thing.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that can a 10-year-old be 18. I'm saying can a 10-year-old have the right consent to sex because they'll be 18 in the future? Just like you're saying, can a fetus have the right to life because they'll be conscious in the future?
That's
What are you
just a
fucking saying?
stupid- That's just a stupid comparison.
Well,
man.
exactly. It is fucking stupid logic to suggest that an entity should be given a right now predicated on a trait they'll have in the future, just like you're saying that a zygote or a fetus should be given the right to life now, predicated on the fact that they'll have consciousness in the future. You're such a fucking donut. You're possibly one of the most stupid people I've ever had on my life. If
Every
you
time
seriously
you
cannot track
say
this
that
logic,
to every one of your guests.
No,
You say
no,
that
no, I
literally-
don't. Then you obviously
say
haven't
that
been
to
watching today.
every
You are
one of your guests.
the second person in the last 3.5 hours that I've called a donut today, and the first person that I've called the
What?
stupidest
You
person
called
I've
it
had
to
in
your
my life.
last person. I literally heard you call it to your last guest.
And that's why I
You
said the
literally-
second person. This is yet
And-
another
and-
reason why you're a fucking donut. Yet another reason why you're a fucking donut. I just said that you are the second person on my live that I've called a donut today.
I was
And then you're like,
watching
no,
Facebook.
you're wrong. You also called the last guest that. That's why it's two goddamn people. Holy shit. You should get a trophy for being the most, oh my God, like the most idiotic person that's been up here in a long time. Are you
You
fucking
called people
serious?
donuts before that. You literally called people donuts before
You
that.
literally called people donuts before that. Oh, okay. So yeah,
You did.
I don't think so.
Multiple. Okay, how about if your chat wasn't so like meat writing you, they would literally tell you the truth. But when you surround yourself with people who tell you you are right all the time, you realize out of this 7,500 people in here, I bet 6,000 of them like, oh my gosh, Dean, everything you say is true.
Okay,
You make
so,
fun of
so
people
obvi-
for saying
obviously
that
you
could jump-
just obviously
you
you
could
just don't have
come-
a rebuttal to my argument.
you could
obviously,
say the
so
most
Charlie, I
out-
just want to clarify. I'm gonna go ahead and shut your bitch ass up real quick. Obviously, you don't have a rebuttal to my argument, so you just want to get pissed at the chat for calling you stupid. Calm down.
I like how you mute me when you start talking. I usually stop talking, so it's just a
Yeah,
waste of
I
time.
muted you when you made like the most like waste of space argument ever. Like you were just wasting oxygen. Okay, I'm like a conservationist. I'm big on the environment. Why would I let you waste oxygen and make useless carbon emissions with the absolute BS statement that was coming out of your mouth?
Because it wasn't BS at all. I don't understand how you value sentience, but you don't value.
Yeah, get out. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Let's go to get the next guest up in here. Yo, Nemesis, thank you so much for the $10 super chat donation over on YouTube. Saying trans individual here. This caller is obviously uneducated. Much love. I had no fucking clue what they were saying. I'd also like to thank Vigilante once again with the $5 over on YouTube super chat. I watch you live almost every day for like a year now. Can confirm one of the dumbest ever. Yeah, for real. Like when you just start to get confused by like literally every single thing they say, and then whenever they lose an argument, they're like, oh, but trans people, like somehow they wrap it in. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Just L Collar. What's up, Peacemaker? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, why'd you do that?
So something that I wanted, or no, I'll get into why I did that. So
Have you ever
I'm
been
definitely
told that you sound like iDubbbz before?
no, what's iDubbbz?
He's a YouTuber. You sound like him. Continue though.
Ooh, maybe I'm iDubbbz. So Trump's recent action to change up our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as well as the firing of the CNO, the Chief of Naval Operations. Not necessarily these things in particular, but the overall bloat within the military from our generals and admirals and above is extreme. And I'm definitely in favor of reducing that bloat. For example, during World War II, and these are kind of issues that I know that won't resonate with you because you don't care about the military. It's something that's rarely talked about on your platform. But within our military, during World War II, we had approximately 1,600 service members for every general or admiral, where now we have 6,000. 6,000. And essentially these have transformed into political positions.
Wait, so you just think that we're overspending on the military?
Allow me to finish my thought. So they'll transition from...
I've been letting you speak for 2 minutes.
No, I haven't even been on the live for more than a minute. So this transitions these folks into civilian career positions on boards of major companies where they're given fat salaries. And so I'm definitely ready to see that removed from our ranks, where we have leaders that are more focused on the service member and winning wars, winning fights, winning battles.
Okay, obviously I don't mind putting people in leadership positions inside of the military that have qualifications, right?
I'm sorry?
Obviously, that would entail putting individuals inside of the military to run the military that have adequate qualifications, right?
We don't put them inside. They're already inside. It's who we determine should be promoted to those congressionally or appointed positions within
so
our
the
military.
individuals that get a promotion via like a presidential appointment and congressional approval, such as Pete Hegseth, right? Do you think that he has qualifications?
Not just Pete Hegseth, but even our admirals. Those are not.
So specifically about Pete Hegseth, do you think that he's qualified to be in the position he is?
Allow me to finish my statement. It's
no,
not just
no, man. You do this again, I'm just gonna kick you because this is already like annoying. But I'm trying to hear you out. But like, if I'm gonna have to sit back and like listen to you yap for 5 minutes at a time about shit that I honestly don't care about, I'm just gonna go ahead and kick you.
So you don't care about service members?
Well, I don't care about your argument because you're basically saying that Donald Trump has replaced these two people. Therefore, this must entail that we're gonna go from having like a leadership position in the military from every 70,000 individuals to every 6,000 individuals, and we got banned for 10 minutes, quite frankly. No. Oh, chat. We got taken down. Quite frankly, hello. See, that's the cool thing about watching over on YouTube is you just get to see like the reaction to the bans. You know what I mean? Like typically people don't get to see that. But ever since I've been streaming on YouTube while I stream on TikTok, you get to see that. Luckily, it was only a 10-minute takedown. It shouldn't knock against my account all too much. But here we are nonetheless. Dean looking mighty fine. Appreciate you for the love. That's very kind. TikTok raid, hell yeah. Come on in here, y'all. Welcome in. We're honestly just at that 4-hour mark, so I'm probably just going to hop off. But I'll hang out with you guys for a minute. A little bit hungry, a little bit tired. Y'all already know. I think that last guest really took it out of me. I'm not going to lie. Woo! Dean, turn up your volume a bit. The callers are loud. I know. There's nothing I can do about that quite yet. Maybe I'll talk to like a sound engineer because there could possibly exist a solution. It's just a very complex one. Do another cooking with Dean. Yeah, I'll be doing more of those because I actually cook frequently. I won't lie, I do cook frequently. Sid, thank you so much for the $20 super chat saying my 4-year-old nephew has been screaming hi Dean for like 10 minutes. Can you please say hi Owen? Owen! Hey there, Owen. Hi, Owen. Everybody say hi, Owen. Yo, Key with the $2 super chat saying, love you, Dean. You're amazing. I love you too. Thank you for the love. Am I going to do another cooking stream? Bro, I'll be doing more of them. Trust. I love them goddamn cooking streams. Because I cook all the time. And apparently, you guys sure as hell like them. Kinsey posted 5 hours ago, right? A little bit of an edit from the cooking stream. It's at like 300,000 views. That is unreal. Do a Fortnite stream? Bro, I could probably see doing that one of these days. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Dean, how's my heart? It's been doing good so far today. I'm pretty excited to go to the gym here pretty soon too. So yeah. Dean, I love you. I love you too. All right. Am I cooking tonight? Maybe. I'll see. It depends on my energy because I need to go to the gym. And the camera's out again. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna go turn the camera on one last time. I don't know what's causing that. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it'll turn back on now. So, anyways, as I was saying, I've been like cooking after I get off stream, and honestly, you know, it takes me a while to cook because I got to go to the grocery store, got to get the ingredients, got to do a whole lot to kind of prep for the cook. And the next thing I know, it's like 8 p.m. and I just got done with dinner, if not later. And then I'm like, oh, well, now I'm too tired to go to the gym. So I've been missing some workouts. I'm thinking of just tonight, probably skipping the cook, getting some fast food, hitting the gym, getting healthy. Hell yeah. So I don't know if I'll do one tonight. Cat cam. Yeah, we still need that goddamn cat cam, huh? All right, guys. Bruh, meal prep? Nah, I don't like... Well, I like meal prepping some things. Like rice, chicken, and pasta are good for meal prep. But other things aren't. You know, like you can't really meal prep a steak or burger. But okay, guys. I'm going to go and end the stream for the night. I love you guys. Thank you, everyone, so much for showing up and showing out. Love and appreciate you all. Peace and love, guys. Take care.